All right. Let's get to it.
Lord. Jamaican.
Yes, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. So I just wanted to piggyback on what the guy said in regards to um honestly I don't know what thither means. I looked it up and it looked like it's a tracking device for immigrants. So
A tether as a tracking device?
that's what it says. It's a ankle monitor. Um yeah, for immigrants, for
Yeah.
immigration. Immigrants that's in custody.
Oh, damn.
Um
That's funny. Okay. That's funny. But no, tether just means a non-FBA, a non-foundational Black American who kind of tries to do things to undermine us. That's all that means. Now, you're Jamaican, right?
yeah, I was born in Jamaica.
Okay.
I grew up here in the States.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and I just based off the you this thing just popped up on my page. But just to backtrack on what the the guy said, I think we're all we're all in this whole thing together. Um, and I think one of the things is that a lot of Africans do not really understand Black history. Um, and white supremacy that happens over here. So they don't understand like why and how African Americans feel and how we are like I say we because I do consider myself African American because they see unless you open your mouth, people don't really know. So
But we're
I
just,
don't.
but let's for clarity.
Yeah, just for clarity, you are listening to a Jamaican woman saying she identify herself as African American. Now, I have a huge problem with that. You supposed to, in my mind, you're supposed to claim Jamaican American. Okay, and that see, and people act like we're crazy when we want to delineate and draw that good thick line. Like, no, okay, well, whatever you think you are and whatever you call yourself, go ahead. And we have to add the foundational, or at the very least, ADOS. Okay, you might call yourself African American. You keep that term; it's yours. But you're not Black, and you're not ADOS, and you're not foundational. So, but I think Tariq is going to address that.
We
Yeah.
are we and you are Jamaican.
And I was just telling my boy that yesterday, who's a super Pan-Africanist, and I was like, "Yo, like I don't know what world you're in, but a lot of he mainly deals with folks from the island that came here from the island. They were born in the island and they're over here. I'm like, yeah, that's who you talk to, but you don't talk to those first gen, second generation, island folks. They don't believe a lot of them don't believe or don't identify as, from the island. They take on identities in in America. They take on American identities and he kind of ain't understand. It's like, I get it. You were older, but yeah, man, talk to those first, second gen, third gen island folks. They're going to talk like her. They're going to say they're African American. So she pretty much omitted the fact that she's Jamaican, which is wild.
No. So
But we're
I
different.
don't.
But let's for clarity, we
Yeah.
Peace,
are
sounds
we
Bantu, the Watcher,
you are a
420,
Jamaican
Renaissance Woman,
American or
Claude.
African American, but we are. I'm foundational Black American.
Yes, I could tell you about to cook on that. Now, this was not part of the show. My thing was African Diaspora Wars, and I'm gonna get into that. But I was watching this morning, and I'm like, wow, look at this. And she came in talking all sweet and everything, and cosplaying African American. Like, what does that mean to you for real? Because that means something totally different to me. Even though I don't buy into that term, but I understood the term to be exclusive at one point. But now, it's all inclusive. So let's see how Tariq handles this, but I know how I would.
So
Okay.
there's a difference. Yeah. Are you
Go to
familiar with
Brown.
that term?
I know that.
Okay, got it.
But if a white
All
person,
right, so let me back up. So he just asked her,
You are a Jamaican American or African American, but we are. I'm foundational Black American. So
okay,
there's a difference. Yeah. Are you familiar with that term?
okay, that was a clear cut question. Listen to her answer.
I know that.
Okay, got it.
But if a white person see me and you standing together, they don't care.
Don't matter. So if they go to
Yeah.
the Caribbean Day Parade, they don't care, but y'all still have the Caribbean Day Parade, right?
Yeah, and we
No,
still have
oh,
Juneteenth.
right. There you go. So we have to respect both things. We still respect
Yeah.
lineages. Yeah, our lineage is not based on whether or not a white person likes us or not. We don't give a shit. We know they don't
Or it's not based on a white person pulling us over and they can't differentiate who's FBA and who's African.
give a shit about us, but
Right.
we still have a distinct lineage. So that's
We
the thing.
do. And it's okay for us to understand that but still come together. Like there's no for me, there's no fight. Like there's no fight because at the
Yeah,
end
but you're fighting right now, though. You're not like being genuine to your own talking points, your own topic.
of the day, where if we separate,
But here's the
it
problem.
it, it kind
Here's
of
the
Obviously, we're not separated right now. All right, let me stop chiming in because y'all be mad. Why keep pausing the video? All right, let me stop pausing the video.
problem.
wait, hold on, I'm not finished.
Go
It
ahead.
kind of defeat the purpose because this has been happening. If we look into history, this has been happening over and over again, and this is why we just cannot get over this hump. Is because we are segregated. We don't understand a race, as a race that
I'm sorry, I be pausing it because some of the things they say be triggering, man. And I got to step in. She said, "This is a play on history. We're separated." I mean, unless she's singing that Avant song, "Separated," I don't know what separation she's talking about. When were we ever together in history? I mean, I'm kind of lost.
we have to come together. It does not matter where we're like born per se, especially in America. If we continue to segregate ourselves, we're not going to be able to come together and uplift and do what we need to do as a race. They don't, in America, they do not care if you're a foundation American or you're Jamaican.
Now, family, don't watch out for that. These pronouns without the established noun. I speak about that all the time. They, them, and then they'll say the enemy. You got to always ask them to clarify who is the they, them, and who is the enemy. Okay, because it comes back down to the white man. No, 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 no. Yeah, I don't have the same they, them, and enemy as you, sis.
Or whatever the case may be. If you're black, that it's if you're black, that's it. And
See, but you're
that's
not
how
black
the
though.
laws are made. That's and if we don't understand
You're
that,
Jamaican,
it's only within us.
Then why do y'all have the Jamaican Day Parade?
right? If you're
It's a
so black,
culture. It's culture. But as a Jamaican, if you I'm sure you've been to Jamaica, a lot of people have been to Jamaica. Jamaica, Jamaica don't see Jamaica is about just Jamaica. Jamaican, just as a culture. We celebrate our culture. You have white Jamaicans, you have Indians, you have black. It's not it's just the culture. If you respect the culture of Jamaica, that's it. That's it. It's
Then
just the
why can't the
culture.
culture of foundational Black Americans be respected the same way?
As people do respect you can't, and that's the
No,
thing.
no, no, slow
Wait,
down. No,
hold on.
because no, no,
You
no,
cannot.
slow down, slow down. The problem is when we start saying, hey, recognize and respect our distinct lineage. I'm not Jamaican, I'm not Caribbean, I'm not a continental African. We have a distinct lineage. Then all of a sudden we get to, oh, you niggas are divisive. We gotta do
No,
no, no, no.
you
Why we
can't.
do
You
Xenophobic.
can't. You
why we
can't.
gotta be divisive?
We can't listen. We can't listen to the naysayers. I think that one of the issues is negativity is so much louder than like the positive upliftment. We are paying attention to the people who's ignorant, the people we can't continue to pay attention to the bad things, the people who is just negative. You have so much support. Why not focus on individuals who want to uplift everybody.
See, and that's why I don't buy into the whole them, they, and we have an enemy. Because this is their way to say, let us abuse you, let us disrespect you, and leave us alone. Don't address us. Just focus on the enemy. We're not your enemy, although we're doing enemy actions towards you. I don't buy into that. I don't look at enemy as a color. Like you have to be this color or you have to come from this background to be my enemy. To me, an enemy is a verb.
Who see and appreciate the culture.
The problem is, ma'am, we got tethers who mess that up. That's the problem. That's why we have to call them out. We can't really do anything with the tether class. There's some Caribbeans who are cool. We would love to build with them. Unfortunately, there's Caribbean and African tethers who come over with complete disdain for us. They do everything they can to undermine us, and they do the exact same shit that they were doing back in y'all
Right.
homeland. They were doing the same janky, cutthroat bullshit. That's why y'all had to leave because nobody could build nothing over there because you couldn't trust each other. And that tribalism that's in Africa and in the Caribbean, in Jamaica too, they have colorism, different little tribal types of differences that Dr. John Henry Clark would talk about, the caste systems over there. And that has kept a lot of people divided over there to the point where they're not building anything. And then people come over here with that same failed mindset, and we're saying, hell no.
You do understand that American media paint Black Americans in a certain way to the world.
We don't, yeah,
Not
but
not just hold on, not just to other blacks that's coming over here, but to the whole
Here they go with the movie thing. Here we go with the movies. You understand that the movies are the reason why you're so hated. Here she go.
world. That's the American media. That is
Oh
a
boy.
propaganda that has been dispersed
what
throughout the world.
propaganda? What? No, no,
The
no, 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 no.
propaganda
What
of
propaganda?
the
Here we go.
propaganda of Black America, the propaganda of Black Americans. The American government made sure that they try to say, "Oh, Black." The reason why Black Americans are not successful in the country in
That
America
ain't true.
is
Okay, I want to know. Yeah,
no,
stop
it's
that. No, 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 no. Stop
sir. I
that.
went to
You
a
just made that up.
HBCU and
Stop that.
African American studies. That is true. That is
No, 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 no.
true.
Y'all stop
You
You're
just
that
made that
lie.
up.
that
Y'all stop that lie. Y'all
you
stop
need
that
it's
lie.
in black and white. It's
Stop.
in
No, no,
black and
no. No,
it's
no,
in black
no.
and white. You need to go
What's in
and
black and white?
read
What you talking
FB.
about?
Now, notice how sweet she came on. We need to stay together. We need to stand together and, get together and not separate. Now, look at her true hatred for FBA just coming out.
You need to read the files from the CIA. It's in black and white. It
What's in
has
black and white?
been
What you talking about?
it's
What's in black and
America
white?
America has cases and projects to where they use the media that's spread throughout the world to have a notion to paint
What
Black
is she?
Americans a certain way.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, she just rambling and it becomes a fact.
Okay, okay.
No,
You
they
know what?
don't. Let me tell you
You
why.
know they don't. Yes,
I'm gonna
they
tell you why.
do.
My fault, family. I hate when
Oh,
that happens.
No, they don't. You
sir,
know what
you
they
need to
do? You know what
read.
they no no ma'am.
No, no, this is
What
a
images? Okay, you
fact.
tell me. Okay,
This is
what
a
images?
fact. I'm
Okay,
so sorry,
what
this
images?
is
What images do
you
they show of us?
images. It's not just images. It's media. It's media.
Okay, you just
It's the
talking in
way that
circles,
Rico,
I'm
ma'am.
not talking in circles. This is
I'm
a
Maxwell,
asking you
Florida
fact,
something
Trucker,
specific. What
Kev,
images do they
sir.
show of us? What images do they
Daryl,
show of foundational
Sir,
Black Americans? Go.
Maxwell
sir.
Jenkins.
I'm so sorry. I don't want to sound, but
What images, ma'am?
but
You're
Right.
filibustering. What
this
images?
no. So
Reggie been crashing
I
out Bill
think
Cartwright.
before, because
This woman
you
can't answer. You know why?
you
Might get
have
Reggie
No,
back
slow
over
2,000.
here.
down.
You
Bill
have
Wright,
Hold
almost
on.
Bill
Okay,
Cartwright,
slow down. Let me mute you because I didn't ask
Reggie to
you
come back over
to
here.
elaborate 7 times, and all you did was talk in circles. The images they
We'll give him
show
a
of
second
foundational
chance.
Black Americans is actually images of success. Let's clear up a myth here.
Yeah, I don't understand what images she's talking about. We live in America, and when I turn on my TV or whatever, that's playing, I don't see white America showing derogatory images of foundational Black Americans. I do not see that. She just her hatred, she want that to be the case, but because she has a negative view of us and she's trying to justify it by something that does not exist.
The tether class likes to say, well,
YouTube
we hate
mastery,
you niggas because
Andre.
the white man showed me a video of
I
you.
told you now. Look, I didn't watch all of this, so I can already predict where she's going. She's trying to justify her hatred and her negative views on us, and I'm gonna play some of those videos of the Diaspora Wars, and that's all she's doing. She's trying to set up why she hates us, and she's trying to frame this thing that does not exist in America. Oh, the images the government shows everybody. Stop it.
Let's clear up a myth here. The tether class likes to say, well, we hate you niggas because the white man showed me a video of you and you were selling drugs. No, the image of foundational Black Americans is the image of success. They show successful images of foundational
Right.
Black
You see
Americans.
Jay-Z,
They
50
show
Cent.
rich rappers,
Yeah,
rich
I just said
athletes.
it more than
That's
anybody.
the images
LeBron
that you
James,
see.
Kendrick Lamar. You see these
When you
guys
go
on TV all
overseas,
damn
they
day.
show Black people in the political sphere because the image America wants to show to the world is that we are a nation of equality and
Right. Joe Button,
multiculturalism.
Charlemagne the
And then
God.
they show images of successful Black
Yeah, what
people to
images?
kind of hide the racism.
Right.
The image is, hey, we're
That
not
makes
a
more
racist
sense.
nation. Look at Will Smith. We're not a racist nation.
Now that
Look
makes
at
more sense.
this rapper. Look at Jay-Z. Look at Beyonce. These are the images that's being shown of Black people around the world. That's where the jealousy
Yeah.
comes from with the tether class. That's where the jealousy comes from. So this
Right.
thing that, oh,
Football, Lamar
we hate you
Jackson,
niggas because the white man showed me
boxing,
bad
Mayweather. They
images
don't
of you. I was
there are no negative
brainwashed.
images
No,
like
you
that of us.
weren't. You saw Black success
Right.
and you got jealous, and that's where the disdain is. Now, am I lying, ma'am? Go ahead. Now, tell me some other images besides Beyonce,
Claude
Jay-Z,
Neely,
Will Smith,
Francis Amos. I like that. I like that
Oprah.
name.
What other images do you see of
Okay,
foundational Black Americans?
okay. So, and this is a uh something that pointed out to me when George Floyd, that video was released and it showed what happened to him.
Yeah, can't burn the
That
flag, baby.
alone, let's not forget just how the world was protesting for a black man in America was treated like that.
Right.
Let's not that that alone that alone just showed just how traumatic just how traumatic.
Um, real second. My fault. Somebody asked a question. I just seen it real quick. Who was that? Who asked that question? there's no copy. Florida Trucker says there's no Cosby Show, different world shows like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They be Steve Urkel, like they be lying. They be flat out lying. Bill Cartwright says go look up the old video of when the Jamaicans came here and the drugs. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Come on, man. We know about that. They don't like to admit that they worship white people. Um, Somebody said, so why do they immolate us then? Right. Um, Somebody asked, what do I think about possible troops going into Chicago? I mean, I have no opinion. You can only have an opinion. It might be successful. So it might stop a lot of crime and you know, maybe folks get right. I only have an opinion if it goes left. Like if it go left or it's about to go left, then I could like give an opinion. But right now, I'm just on wait and see. I don't know what to expect. Kev said we know that's it's been that way basically. Florida Trucker says FBA never been from the Caribbean or African folks. Yeah, yeah, 100%. 100%. Carlos Magus, Golden Brown. And this will be an open dialogue. So if folks want the link, phone number, let me know. But yeah, she came off real soft spoken. We all need to be in this together. Then her hatred started to seep out. Listen to this.
That was. Now, yes, you're talking about entertainers. You're talking about entertainers, but
That didn't
but
correlate
hold
with
on, I'm
nothing.
not
That
done
George
because
Floyd, no,
you
that
muted me when you were
Yeah,
yeah,
she
I'm
said
gonna mute
George
you again
Floyd.
because that you
The
just
hell was
saying
that?
shit. Okay, you're doing what's called saying shit. That didn't correlate to anything, ma'am. The image of George Floyd being
You just
killed, that
saying
was a
shit.
shocker to the world because the world was like, wait a minute, you told us that in America everybody's equal. You choking black people to death? That's when people start turning up. That's why they turned up so much because they saw us turning up and then the world turned up, ma'am. Okay, she left. That's fine. That's
Of
fine.
course
But
she
yeah,
did.
she's not going to just be up here saying shit. She left.
She left. Right. Just
I don't
babbling.
know what the hell she's talking about. No, no, no. Now, let's with a family. We have to stop them from all these lies
Yeah, that was
and
called
all these
immigrant
myths.
babble.
This whole thing, they've been telling this lie for a long time. Well, the
Your
reason why
granddaddy
my
nurse,
people come over here and
Grand
we hate
Rising.
you niggas is because of the
Okay.
media, the
All
way they
right.
portray you.
Last row
They
braids. Okay.
brainwashed us. Don't let them get that lie off. Don't let them get that lie. That's horse shit. All right.
Right.
No, they come over with tribalism and jealousy. They see us holding, we got paper, we live in fly, and they're resentful.
And that was a great, great point. Images in 2025. She tried to make us believe there's images of the government that's so negative on Foundation Black Americans when our representation has been successful, like entertainers and actors and actresses. You dig? What are we talking about here? Like LeBron, when you think of FBA, like internationally, they're gonna think of LeBron James, Jay-Z. Like they don't know any better, but they're gonna think of the entertainers. They're gonna think of Dave Chappelle, and they're not gonna think of Ray Ray around a corner. Like stop. Like what are we talking about? They're not gonna think of uh Tookie Williams. You dig? Somebody like that. They're gonna think of what's being promoted around the world. They're gonna think of Noah Lyles, Shakari Richardson, like just lying. Again, trying to justify the hatred and jealousy. And you're right, Renaissance woman, immolating us at the same time, hating on us.
A lot of tethers are resentful because of that.
Urban commute, Lord
That's the
Mall.
long and short of it. A lot of them are resentful because they see us with a lot of resources that they don't
Exactly,
have.
Golden.
And that's where the anger comes in, and that's where the jealousy comes in. They have not been brainwashed by the media about images
That keep happening. My
about
fault.
images of us. Let's stop that shit.
My fault.
All right, let's get some more folks in here.
Okay,
We
but that was pretty much it on that one. Like again, I wasn't that was not part of the show the podcast today, I just happened to be watching that video because I do my own podcasting and I do a lot of other things, so I don't get a chance to watch everybody's stuff. So I catch up. And as I'm catch up on that one, I caught her like, "Are you serious?" And I stopped it and I just played it. So I didn't even hear it all. But anyway, so now let's get to the Diaspora Wars. All right. So the question is, are the Diaspora Wars one-sided? And when I say one-sided, let me be very clear here. Is it everybody versus FBA type of, you know what I mean? Or is FBA complicit, like with the petty going back and forth? Claude says tethers equal liars, 100%. Never met one honest tether or Pan-Africanist for that matter. Lord Maul says short bus Kwame was on his name Revenue, yeah, was on Tariq's recent space, flogging and perpetrating as always, lying like a goddamn rug. Yeah, rug. I like that. Lying like a rug. Yeah, I'm going peace FBA convo. I'm going to catch uh and it could have been last night because I was up a little late, but I'm gonna catch Revenue on one of Tariq's Twitter feeds and I'm gonna embarrass him. I'm gonna expose him and embarrass him. Right? Nah, Tariq. This is a tether troll that frequents my lives, and he gets embarrassed every chance he gets. Peace. To start now, JJ Mars. All right, so now let's get to this next clip. I'm gonna show you guys. I never watched it. All right, I just seen a little bit, and I heard a little bit of hatred. So I said, you know what? Let me play this. So I think this is it, Ray. No, it's a couple folks that's out here trying to. This guy, I don't know what this is right here. This one right here, this is who knows. We'll learn together.
YouTube. I'm back with another reaction video.
Okay, so I just seen the title, and I heard the accent. So I said, well, maybe he's saying something foul. Well, let's see.
Let's jump into this video and I'm gonna chop it up with you guys real quick.
I want to know exactly what do you want from
Jesse
white
Lee Peterson.
people?
What I want for them to stop practicing white supremacy and replace the system of white supremacy with justice.
I'm just interested in old boy reaction. I want to know if he's a rider or a hater.
Want them to redistributed reside. We were denied.
I'm gonna tell you something. Let me tell you a little backstory about this guy. The first time I knew about this guy, because off the back of the other race hustle, like Dr. Umar Johnson.
Yeah. So I was right. My FBA senses were right. I seen the title. I heard the accent, and I was correct to assume that he's most likely a tether and less likely a rider. And that's getting bad for our brothers and sisters that's out there, or riders out there that's in the diaspora and the continent. That's getting bad that we could almost just be spot on, assuming that folks are just haters rather than riders. All right. And of course, this got no views. Oh, you know what? Let me write him. Let me write this guy.
I remember this guy came to my barbershop, right? I saw a lot of guys be like, yo, that's Tyreek. And I didn't know who he was, you feel me? And then while he was getting a haircut from one of my...
You heard this guy, I know who he was, you feel me? Emulating our slang.
My barbers, right? I was like, Ra, who are you, bro? Like, you got a lot of fans right now. He goes, yeah, like, I'm a black activist. From when he said that, bro, like, I just said, yeah, say less. Keep getting your money, my bro. Then I continued doing what I was doing. That was actually the first time I've actually met this guy when he came into my establishment, bro. You feel me? When I clocked he was a race hustler, like the other one, I was like, keep getting your money, my bro. And I continued doing what I was doing, bro. That's the first time I ever met this guy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Like, and these guys with these strong accents that be trying to use our slang. Come on, man. That it doesn't go well. It doesn't go well. Our slang really goes well with the American accent. I'm gonna be real.
I never knew this guy. No word of a lie.
Things that were codified by the government. The government
Like what,
sanctioned
for example?
with job, resource,
And
reparations.
As well, a definite real hustler. When we talk about race hustling, this is...
Okay, so he's saying race hustling over and over, but he's not defining what does that mean? What is a race hustler?
a definition of a real race hustler. That's what I'm saying to you. You want reparation from something that happened 100 years ago. And it's so funny. It's like, okay, cool. What happens if you don't get the reparation? Are you not going to go out there to go get it yourself? And this is a clear example.
Now, how do you go get reparations yourself? And I hate when tethers and white supremacists ask that question. Well, life goes on. Like, what do they think we're doing now? We're just waiting on reparations, just unemployed, just not working, not being productive. Like, what are you talking about? So we can't chew gum and walk. So we can't file a suit. We can't march, protest. We can't have a grievance and still be productive in society. We still can't raise our families. The world just stops as we wait for reparations. Like, this is a hating talking point.
Example, guys, of a race hustler pushing agenda to you guys. Well, not my viewers, because you guys not sleeping. That's why you pull up to my thing. But
He's talking like he got 400 and listen, he's talking like he got 492,000 views on this right here. This dude got 492. And he knows that he has to mention us. Tether Dream is mentioning us to get views. They can't get views on original content.
sleeping blacks, because they push this narrative of this
Peace,
victim
Hero Angel.
mindset. The victim, this guy's a victim. This guy's a victim. Also, I want you guys to count how many times he says white supremacists. I'm a child.
Wait. That was dumb. He said victim. Yeah, we are victimized by white supremacy. That's an obvious fact. So I'm not gonna play with no more of this. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even waste time invite him to the show because I could tell that he'll just not go back and forth with me. He'll crash out like the last guy. Oh, by the way, the last guy, the perspective guy, oh, he's crying. He got so many videos about what did Africa do, what tangibles, and yeah, Pan-Africanism tangibles, because I killed him in our discussion. He just crying like hell. All right. So this guy ain't saying nothing. He just hating. All right. Let's go here now.
Hey,
H,
you have
peace.
some thoughts about this, and you have some information to share with us about what FBA is and ADOS.
Sure. Yeah. So first, I think it's important to differentiate between FBA and ADOS. I mean, they're pretty similar. They're almost exactly the same, but Foundational Black Americans is more of like a descriptor and maybe also like an ideology, as opposed to ADOS, which is like an actual foundation and an organization. But
Yeah, Tethers be killing me how they are qualified to speak on who is who and what is what.
their beliefs are pretty much identical. So in case folks are wondering, like, what exactly is the difference between the two? But basically, for both ADOS and Foundational Black Americans, they are separating and delineating, Black Americans that were enslaved from other diasporic.
Hey, yeah, look at this weak fist in the back. Look at this red black. Look at this weak background. And look at this is a womanist this is a tetherist right here. Strong
Black
faith.
groups, and their fundamental goal is to get reparations, which of course I support, and reparations is a good goal. But the idea is that there's something particularly special about Black Americans in that, we can get reparations as like a piece of the pie, so this idea that, like, the American project was flawed, but if we just get our just desserts, then we can participate into it. And so with both
Don't
ADOS.
forget, family, the religion of Pan-Africanism is to hate America and everything about America. This is why they worship Africa. I mean, when I say they hate America, they hate America. They hate all of the accomplishments, all of the FBA inventors, innovators, anything that was created or born here or incepted here in America. They look at it as trash. It has to be the foundation we built here, the foundation of America we built here. They look at that as trash. I was talking to a Pan-Africanist yesterday, and he was saying Africa was our home, and I was like, so when we damn near built America, this ain't our home either. Like, and he really didn't have a response, but So what we built here, our ancestors, free labor and forced labor, is just garbage because it is American, but it's just garbage because not in Africa. That's how they think because Pan-Africanism is a religion.
And FBA,
Be more.
they are really known for their
DSA one.
xenophobic beliefs. They're anti-African.
Okay, so here now look, she's making these claims. She won't give no examples. She won't attempt to prove it. We're xenophobic, we're anti-African. Okay, she just said that this is how she described us. She said our main focus or main purpose was reparations. And then she said we like to delineate from other, not just other, but we like to delineate from Africans, right? Diaspora or continental, and basically we do our own thing. And then she remixed that to mean we are xenophobic and anti-African. Now, what description about us was xenophobic or anti-African? They just make stuff up because they just look, for them it's Africa or nothing. And if you dare represent that red, white, and blue, you are enemy number one. That's how they believe. With that crazy weak white man fist in the background.
An anti-Caribbean bias. Yeah, and I think another thing that's interesting to think about is that
The holy FBA
the
Codex TV1
ADOS movement
piece.
was founded by Yvette Carnell, which a lot of people have speculated about her CIA ties. She has a long history working in government. And so there's a lot of discourse that the ADOS movement and the FBA movement might just be like a big op, which I would not be surprised at all by. With ADOS, with Yvette Carnell, she was on the board of something called Progressives for Immigration Reform, which despite
Okay, all right. Okay, she giving. Let's just go. Let's go to where you really want to go.
count the fact that so many of our revolutionaries, so many of the people that have contributed
Okay, let's back up.
FBA are both like far right ideals with
Okay.
MAGA hats on.
Okay,
She
so now we're far right. Okay.
kind of walked that back because
What's kind of interesting because we cook on conservatives on a regular basis. That be trying to act like systemic racism doesn't exist. We're our own worst enemy. It's the culture. It's not white supremacy. Okay, yeah, we're really far right.
because there was a big controversy over it. But basically,
Right,
ADOS
grabbing
and
straws.
FBA are both like far right ideologies. And I would say they're both very anti-intellectual ideologies, and they don't take into account the fact that so many of our revolutionaries, so many of the people that have contributed to the Black American struggle,
Like who?
like Harry Belafonte, Shirley Chisholm, Malcolm X.
Okay, why do they keep saying this? Okay, Shirley Chisholm. Like, what are you talking about? This is a woman in Congress in 1968. Like, she got in Congress when the civil rights movement was over. And whatever minute contributions, whatever support she gave during leading up to her admission to Congress, why is she magnifying it like it was like groundbreaking? Like, yo, listen. And then they keep mentioning Malcolm X like he's not FBA. Listen, Harry Belafonte, listen, you guys hopped on our tailcoats. You act like the civil rights movement was 50-50. That was 99.9% FBA. Y'all hopped on. Okay, good. I get another one. You guys hopped on a winning train ride. They hopped on a winning train ride, and that's like a bandwagon. Like, just imagine like where the Eagles were in the fourth quarter last year, Super Bowl, beating the Kansas City Chiefs. When you seen the score was out of reach for Kansas City. 30 seconds left. Now, all of a sudden, everybody become an Eagles fan. And then you act like you're winning with the day one fans. Like, no, you can't hop on a winning train and all of a sudden, yeah, man, Shirley Chisholm, everybody, that Tory Cromwell, what are these guys' names? And act like these were in the front seat. Like, dude, you're in the back of the goddamn bus. You hopped on an obvious winning movement, and you want us to somehow give you credit for that. Hey, yo, we were going to be successful without a Shirley Chisholm, without a Harry Belafonte, and without a Kwame Ture. Okay, we were being successful, and they were all at the back. They were not even in the back of the bus. They were on the back of the bus. You did. They were on the back of the bus trying to ride this winning wave. And they keep saying these folks like they actually did something. Like, what? Stop. Shirley Chisholm, 1968, shit, the civil rights movement is over.
Louis Farrakhan, Cicely Tyson, like all of these folks have Caribbean roots. Not to mention,
Wait, so now it's about Caribbean roots again. You're on our. I got to curse here. I'm sorry. You're on our shit. Again, you're on our shit. What did you come in here with? What did you come here with that we said, yeah, we'll add that to it? You came in and grabbed a goddamn seat in the back of the line. You were not sitting there negotiating with Dr. King, A. Philip Randolph, and the others. Like, will you stop? Malcolm X wasn't either. Malcolm X was on the back of the bus of the civil rights movement. So, like, yeah, we're not going to rewrite history. We're going to keep it real.
Marcus Garvey, I mean, it's an endless.
Marcus Garvey. Didn't this woman say civil rights movement? Why are you saying Marcus Garvey? Marcus Garvey was anti-civil rights. Marcus Garvey was the opposite. Marcus Garvey was a black nationalist. Marcus Garvey was a separatist, not our civil rights activists, stupid. They were integrationists. They were Pan-Americanists. They were civil rights activists. They believed fighting for this country because this is our home. Our civil rights activists didn't believe we had a home outside of America.
Stokely Carmichael or Kwame Ture, I should say. There's an endless list.
Right. And the holy FBA Codex TV1 has said something very, very key, which I gotta calm down from because she's saying trickery shit. He said something very important. He said, and even those Caribbeans, they were not tethers. Like so, like, and I keep falling for that. She keep naming like Caribbean and folks who were on code, who were riding. Yeah, we're not even against them. They were not the tether class like her and others today. Yeah, so they were riders, but I wanted to put it in perfect context. They were riders, but they were on the back of the bus, not even in the back of the bus. Like the civil rights movement was already popping when all of them joined. Okay, they were not there day one, like A. Philip Randolph. So okay, again, we're not gonna add and romanticize what they did either.
Folks that have really contributed to Black American struggle, but by ADOS and Foundation of Black Americans beliefs, those folks aren't as important. They shouldn't be included in this project of reparations. And
okay, yeah. So FBA, holy FBA, you see that? So she just lied. Foundation of Black Americans actually, for the most part, we actually appreciate the name she just mentioned. We don't call them tethers and coons and negative things. We actually say, yeah, thank you. Thank you for riding and not going against. That's the difference with those Caribbeans. They didn't go against. They rode with it. They rode the wave. They didn't go against the wave. Y'all tethers today, y'all go against the wave. Y'all don't ride the wave. That's the difference. Thank you. The holy FBA Codex TV1.
Something distinct and unique about Black Americans, which I think is true to some extent. There is a unique, distinct culture. I'm not downplaying the unique, distinct Black culture. I think that's 100% true. I don't think anybody can argue with that. That there's a distinct Black culture that is from descendants of U.S. Formerly enslaved people. But the idea that we cannot allow Caribbean people, we cannot allow African people as part of this project of liberation. That is kind of their foundational ideology.
Okay, again, she's misrepresenting us. What you mean? What do you mean a liberation? We're not doing no liberation march. we're doing a delineation, drawing a line between us and everybody else in the world, including y'all Africans of the diaspora and continent, and we are self-identifying, and we're making a claim for reparations for the unpaid cost of injustice. That has nothing to do with what you guys fighting for. You guys believe you need liberation, that there's this big white monolith who's holding you down. That's not how we believe.
I would say. So yeah, I guess yeah, where do we go from here? I mean, there's so much to say about them.
Well, you just staged a lie, so yeah, it's going to be hard to. Okay, that's right. Yeah, you just staged a lie, so it's going to be very difficult to go from there. But now, if I invite her to the podcast or any one of them, like I doubt they come because they don't like to. Uh, don't touch that. They don't like to deal with correct representation of FBA. They want to go with their narrative and then argue against that.
Well, they're saying a lot about themselves. I see that they're in the chat. We got some ADOS people, some FBAs in here who are really upset with us and the way that we position this program. And let's talk about it. I mean, this is an open discussion, and we have our position, obviously, which is that African people are dealing with the same issues everywhere, and that to unite with the United States colonial project is to be a white nationalist in blackface. That's our position, but y'all telling me that's not what it is. And so, whenever we, as Black people, can find ourselves aligned with white nationalists around the question of immigration, and as a person who's an African, I was born in the United States. My family comes from the Caribbean via Africa. I can clearly see that I'm an African person. I can clearly make the connection between myself and other African people who were born
Okay.
in the United States. I can clearly see the oppression and exploitation that we have felt not only in the United States, but also in these places in the Caribbean and Africa and other places.
Yeah, but we don't speak to that. We speak to racism, and you don't experience that in those places. You guys don't experience racism. You experience oppression from your own people, from people who look like you and who identify like you. That's the difference. You, hey, stop. You guys feel oppression from people who identify just like you. We don't know how to, we that's not our experience over here. We got oppression and injustice for people who do not identify like us. We are different people with different fights, different struggles.
Places in the world, and I can clearly make this determination. And for me, I want freedom for all African people, Black people. And so when I see someone uniting with the United States colonial project, and that's what you're doing when you're saying that immigrants don't belong here, or that there's a position for us. Who is us? You don't know who is a Black American, so to speak, and fighting for reparations within the construct of colonialism and oppression. Like that to me is diabolical and wrong, and it goes against any sense of freedom, and it more likely aligns with white nationalism and white exceptionalism. And it also usually aligns with more of an African petite bourgeoisie, a
What the
class
fuck? Yeah, did she say fight for reparation is wrong? Let me rewind that.
identification that allowing you is. And so when I see someone uniting with the United States colonial project, and that's what you're doing when you're saying that immigrants don't belong here, or that there's a position for us. Who is us? You don't know
Hey, stop,
who is
man.
a Black American, so
You
to
gotta
speak,
stop. Sit over there.
and fighting for
Here, take your
reparations within the
first hand.
construct of colonialism and oppression. Like that to me is diabolical and wrong, and it goes against any sense of freedom, and it more likely aligns with white nationalism and white exceptionalism. And it also usually aligns with more of an African petite bourgeoisie, a class identification that aligns you more likely with white people. So it's a political position that, really divides the African diaspora, the power um, of the African alliance, and it doesn't. Essentially, what it does is it breaks up and it fragments it, and it weakens what could be and what can be a very strong movement. Africans in all places around the world can fight for the same things that we're fighting for here: reparations, economics, and things like that. But if we're not talking about destroying the colonial project, right? If we're not talking about destroying the United States colonial framework, then we're upholding it. And what I see foundational Black Americans doing, because this is
Wait, before we talk about what you see, you see what you see the language they use? They use colonialism. Yeah, we were the only people that was part of the transatlantic slave trade that never faced colonialism. We were the only people who faced slavery and within the country. So when she's saying colonialism, that's y'all thing. That's what y'all have in common. We have systemic racism and slavery, right? That's what makes us unique from all of y'all. You guys don't know what slavery is within the country that you landed in, and you don't know about systemic oppression. And no, we not fighting no global reparations. You go to your country or your colonizers and you go ask them what your, you know what I mean? You go fight for your shit. Got a bunch of cowards, and we're only 13% of our population. We're only 43 million deep. All these Africans are about a billion and in numbers, and they're trying to tell us that 43 million because we check out that the whole thing flops. So that in one side of their mouth, they're saying where we ain't shit. And then the other side, they're saying like we're so important. We ain't shit, but then we are so important. We're so important that they can't get anything done if we check out. And that's not how we feel about them. Like we are delineating family. Look what she just said. She just said they can't get shit done if we check out. We're saying we could get everything done just by ourselves. We're drawing a line saying and corner ourselves, saying it's just us. Okay, it's just us. And that's all we need. That's all we got. That's all we need. They're saying, no, we need everybody. We need all billion people together to get something done. Like that to me, that's a coward. Yeah, listen, y'all go do y'all, we gonna go do us. All right. We're not crying that we gotta do it by ourselves. We're not crying that the African diaspora, the continental Africans are not joining us. We're not crying. We're saying get away from us. Go over there. Go over there and we got it. We're saying we're good with just 43 million. That's what we're saying, essentially. We're essentially saying, hey, we are good with 43 million. Y'all go. If y'all don't want to ride the wave, go. And we're good with 43 million. We're not crying that you guys are not aligning yourself with us. We're not. That's what you guys are doing. You're powerless and you know that we are the power.
is not America. This land base does not belong to. It's a European name. When I see FBA and ADOS, and they're basically upholding this identity, this idea that somehow because our African descendants, African foreparents were enslaved in this colony, that somehow, and we were forced by, we were forced to build up this economic colonial system that somehow that
Yes, you see, they keep saying colonial. Yeah, yeah. Listen, family, that's not our problem. That we don't understand colonialism. That didn't happen with us. We didn't have colonizers. That's your problem. Go handle that.
allows us to have claim over in other Black people who are experiencing the same types of oppression. That is
Yeah, Mesha, when she said we, I thought about it too, but she said we, and then she mentioned colonizers. So she's talking about Africans and the African diaspora. She's not talking about us because we don't have that shared experience with colonizers.
backwards, and it doesn't forward anything except for aligning you more closely to white people. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely agree, and I would say, first of all,
I told you it's always white people. It comes back down to white people. All white people globally are just the devil. the enemies, and all people that's dark, right, or melanated, they are your friends, your brothers and sisters, the kings and queens. That's just the position. They're just black and white for them. You look like this, you're an enemy. This is how you look. You're a brother, a sister, a king and queen. That's what you are. Like, and that's just that's primitive thinking.
Where we landed up is a matter of chance. There were many stops along, there were many stops on the slave ships.
Uh-oh, here we
and
go.
most of the time, it's the journey started from Africa, of course, and the first destination, depending on which route they were taking, was either Haiti or Jamaica. And then from there, they dropped some.
Here we go. Here we go with this. We're just different folks from different strokes of the slave ships. We're all the same. We're just trying to link back up and become one family. But meanwhile, they call themselves Jamaicans, Haitians, St. Croix, Belizeans, all these different names. They don't call themselves Africans of the slave trade. They got flags they carry around. They wear in their car and on their clothes. And nah, you guys delineated well before us.
Folks off.
MC.
Then from there, they would take them on to the U.S. And so the fact is that we're Africans. We're not Americans. The American colonial project has never.
Look, you can be African all you want, and kudos to you. You go fight for Africans. Then we're Americans, and we're fighting for Americans. All right, and you keep needing Americans to help out Africans. No, y'all 1 billion deep. Go fight. Lead the way. Show us how to get reparations the right way.
To us, it will never take us into account. It will never prioritize us. It will never give us reparations. Truly,
I don't know about you, but it will give us our reparations. We're undefeated when we fight. You guys are defeated when you fight. That's a fact. Chat, go ahead and like the video, please. We are falling way behind. We're like 50 behind. That's crazy. Yeah, but no, I don't know what she's talking about. All I do know when FBAs get on code and come together and organize, we're undefeated in this country. We've never came together and fought mass scale and did not accomplish something. So no. We are undefeated. You guys are defeated.
I truly believe that they have no desire to see
people
uplifted.
Burnish.
And I think it's very interesting because in some of the comments they're calling us like.
Now this is why I say the Diaspora Wars one-sided. They're blaming everything on us. Now they claim that there's all these slave ships that dropped off slaves all around the diaspora. Then why are you only pointing fingers at us? She's acting like the West Indies are one accord. Like these guys hate each other, talk about each other, and can't get along with each other at all. Show us where you guys are unified. Show us where you're unified in the Caribbean. You guys are divided like hell in the Caribbean. So what I'm saying is she can easily point at a country in the Caribbean and say, hey, these guys ain't doing this. These guys, they direct all their hate towards us. All the blame is always FBA. When all those island countries can easily be blamed, we can easily cherry pick their differences and their biases on everybody else. We could easily do that. But nope, they want to shoot at the top. We get it.
And I think it's very interesting because in some of the comments they're calling us like tethers, which is like the ADO slur that they use for like folks that are descendants of people from the Caribbean and from Africa. And I think it's so funny that they're like.
Yeah, she said the word tether come from ADOS, but these are experts. Okay, these are experts in this diaspora war. Like they could explain the difference between ADOS and FBA and freedmen. They could explain all this stuff, and she doesn't even know where the word tether, where that came from. She said ADOS, and then she's gonna misrepresent it and say that everybody who's non-FBA, non-ADOS is a tether. Okay, they always do this. I'm gonna write her. Hold on, let me write her on a different account. I gotta write her because you know what, family, they get slick. So they'll see I wrote them and I invite them, and they'll look at my videos and like, hell no. So I gotta write them on a different a troll account. All right. So let me write this woman.
This is, this is a democratic, it's not a conservative idea. And it's like, if it's not a conservative idea, then why are you using what's basically a slur for you? Like, why do you have to call names? If it's a progressive idea, you should be able to defend your idea through critical thinking, through dialectical materialism, like through.
I told you, family, we're just dumb. We're the aggressors, we're the offenders, and we don't know history, and we are just dumb. We're not intellectuals, all 43 million of us. We're just dumb. And they got to save us from the white man. The white man's making us dumb.
Through actual ideas and not just like flinging terms that you
Told
made
you,
up that like
we're just
sound
dumb. We just
offensive to you,
mudslinging.
but sound silly to anyone else. Like, and I also see, there's some interesting comments about, it's just funny because, we're told that this is DNC nonsense, and that DNC takes money from the white supremacist ethno-state, which is it's true. And, I think that we would all agree with the fact that DNC takes money from white supremacist ethno-state. And also, us being a part of the DNC is just hilarious. That just like makes me laugh because it's just like, this is not DNC ideology. Like, we will never be part of the DNC. We'll never uphold the DNC. The DNC is just as much of our enemy as the RNC, as far as I'm concerned. And, I think it's also interesting because we're told that this is DNC nonsense, what we're spouting, but we're also, in some of these comments told that Vet and Tone are liberal Democrats. So who's the DNC operative? The liberal Democrats or the Marxists? Like, does that sound coherent to you that we're spouting the DNC nonsense, but Yvette and Tone are the liberal Democrats? We're not liberals. We'll never be liberals. We are socialists and communists.
Oh my God.
Correct. Let's make the point that we are African internationalists. We are not Democrats. We are not Republicans. We don't identify with right wing or left wing. We identify with African people globally. And
but how I mean, that's just a dumb statement. Like, how globally, so all 54 countries, all the islands of West Indies, like, again, they're not even unified with themselves. And guess what, family? You guys know the 54 countries of Africa are not trying to unify. That's not the number one agenda. The West Indies already tried that and it flopped in 4 years. They never tried again. But she's going to represent all of these nations and islands that don't get along and do not want to get along. Okay, that's not mission number one. Our mission number one is to get along over here in America. Our mission number one is to get on code, get along. Okay, come under the same umbrella, embrace your lineage. You dig? That's our number one goal in America, is to get along. Their number one goal in Pan-Africanism is not to get along. That's the big difference.
Colonial and capitalistic oppression that African people face internationally. Like, you can't say that you can't say that you have to find exact harm. I see that comment
Tia Harris,
there. When we know that the U.S.
American, I see you.
Had
FBA
impact on other African people all over the world. Haiti, for example,
Miss Wayne.
Like, of all things, if you want to draw the line between harm and reparations.
Yeah, I just wrote them. I invited them to join me.
U.S. owes Haiti reparations for,
Yo, she just said the U.S. owes Haiti for reparations. Then go make that argument. We're not in your way. That's the difference between us and you guys, you tethers. We're not in your way. Go make your argument. Go make your argument for CARICOM. Go make your argument for, let's say, Rwanda with the Belgians. Go make your arguments. We're not in your way. Go make your Haiti American argument. We're not in your way. Go do it. But guess what? Do not get in our way. And when our argument was made, but you're in the way. Go try to prove that. Go prove Haiti is deserving of reparations from the American government. Go make that argument. Go.
The colonization of their government, the subsidization of their agricultural system.
Right, Leon Atkins. That's why I say go make that crazy argument. Go make the argument that America owes Haiti, and you be laughed out the damn building. Now, I wasn't gonna be a pessimist like that. I was gonna encourage them. Hey, do what's on your heart. Let me give Leon Atkins a lineage wrench. And that means you'll be added as a moderator. All family, all people of the lineage must be a moderator. And we also got some riders who are not the lineage, but they have wrenches. Few of them, but they got them too. Okay, so yeah. So the French owes you guys, and maybe somebody else, but that's you got to go figure that out. Okay, and I guarantee you, we will not be in your way. Peace, Tiger Crane, Shakir. He says, "How the f does they owe? Yeah, how America owe Haiti? Yeah, I maybe that's a slip of the tongue, but uh, their hate for America is just is amazing. Like you would think that they would have smoke for France. And really, their hate is for Western powers. Like they don't even hate the Eastern powers like that. The Eastern white man, like they or the Eastern European. They don't really. They look at Russia as a hero. Like, oh, Russia, yeah. Oh, Ibrahim Traoré kicked out the French, but now he's in bed with the Russians. The Russians gonna do him well. The Russian, that's a good white man. Like, come on. If the enemy is the enemy, and it's the white man, then you guys got to admit that Ibrahim Traoré did business with another enemy. But they'll never conclude that. They'll never concede to that. They'll say the Russians were a better, or the lesser two evils. However they phrase it, they'll phrase it. They'll act like the Russians were better off than the French. So like they really just you talk about quoting talking points. Like they are lost. I don't even got the right words. They are lost. Let me try to get. Let me see what's in the chat. We got Mama Dead, peace. To you got Black Woman Stand Up, peace. Who else? Borrowed Time is in the building. We got Nita White is in the building. We got Judite Warrior. Yeah, so we deep in here. Let me refresh. Let me check out the likes. Let me check out the likes. Where we at? Yeah, family. The likes is crazy. Let me show y'all the likes so y'all can see for yourselves. So y'all know I ain't tripping. So we got 136 people watching, and we only got 86 likes. Like, come on, we're at 40 likes behind. 50 likes. I'm sorry, we're 50 likes behind. Okay, so let's pick that up right there. All right, let's pick that up. All right, let's go.
You know, if you want to go ahead and bring that as a case in point.
We got Rion,
now,
AKA
we're not
in the
here
building.
to argue with
Charlie
anyone
Shaw, I see you.
About any of
Callie,
this. What we are doing is sharing the knowledge
Kilgore 67 in the
that
building.
we have. We are able to back up facts. You know, this is who we are. We're not part of this system here. We are African International. We're part of the African nation, which includes Africans that came over, the 12 million of Africans that were taken out of West Africa and brought over to the United States, brought over to the Caribbean, brought over to South America, the ones who left the United States and went up to Canada post-slavery. We are also, you know, identifying with the colonization that has happened to the people on the continent of Africa in the pursuit of freedom. When you talk about what has happened over in the Congo and in Sudan for not just the last few years that we've been hearing Free Congo, but from all the way back. You can use the movie Black Hawk Down as your example of what the United States has done to continental Africans. So when you say that you have to draw the line between harm and the reparations, we can draw those lines all day from the United.
I mean, y'all heard it for yourselves, family. They are trying to leech on our reparations claim. Now, America is the only white person or European power to attack or harm the diaspora or Africa. Like this is wild. But go ahead. But look, go ahead, sis. We're not in your way. Go make those claims. Go to the UN. Go make the claims. Let's see how far you get. Go make those claims. Okay, now look, it's funny how she's trying to argue for an African country who's not making that same argument for themselves. It's like, yo, are you stupid? Yo, the president of that African country would be like, what the hell are you talking about? America don't owe us no goddamn money. Like, that's basically watering down their claim. To say that America owes the Haitians reparations is to water down the Haitians' legitimate claim for reparations for the appropriate party. Okay, the appropriate government. Yeah, so she's watering down people claims of reparations by lying like this. This is just delusion.
United States of America.
I'm looking at these comments. They're proving our point. Like these are.
And it just, for me, not to cut you off, but it just represents for me a fundamental lack of critical thinking, a fundamental lack of dialectical thinking, right? Because
fundamental thinking, high intellectual thinking. I told you, family, they're going to always pretend that Black people of America are the dumbest melanated people in the world. Like we're the dumbest of the bunch. And I can toot my horn and argue the reverse. I can say we are the smartest of anybody melanated in the world, but we don't do that. But if we did that, they'll say we're xenophobic, we're divisive. If we make that claim, which we got more ground to stand on than any of y'all, if we made that claim, we'll be xenophobic, divisive, self-centered, occultic people. But they can sit here and make a bold claim and say our intellectual capabilities and abilities are not there. Like basically we're slow. You dig? We got to call Dr. Umar and get an evaluation. You dig? We got to get a special ed letter so we can't go in these classes, these small classes. But if we made that claim to them and say they're dumb, they're third world country, they're shithole country, they would clap back at us so hard. But she's allowed to say that we don't have the mental capacity to understand or make an accurate argument that makes any sense. They all do this. All the Pan-Africanists, they all do this. Every last one of them. They pretend that foundational Black Americans, ADOS, freedmen, we're just the dumbest of the melanated people in the world. And when we could easily make a good argument, an infallible argument that we are the most brightest, the most educated, the most decorated than anybody melanated in the world. And maybe we should start shifting, popping our collar that way, which we're very humble. We really don't do that as often as we could and maybe should. But listen to her explain just how dumb we are as a people. We're the most accomplished melanated people in the world, but look at how dumb we are.
Because
we can draw those lines all day from the United States of America.
I'm looking at these comments. They're proving our point. Like these are.
Look, listen.
And
look how dumb we are.
Me, not to cut you off, but it just represents for me a fundamental lack of critical thinking, a fundamental lack of dialectical thinking, right? Because we can have a conversation about the way that the U.S. uplifts immigrants and uses the myth of the model minority and weaponizes that against U.S. born folks. Like that's a fact. We all know that. Like they do that. We do often see folks from Africa. Oftentimes, if they're able to immigrate to the U.S., they're coming from a middle class or upper class position. They have a higher education. And then so, weaponizing that against U.S. folks that don't have those same kind of opportunities. Like we can have a
Wait.
dialectical.
Okay, yeah, but you won't. That's why you're only there with this three, you guys. You're not here. Matter of fact, yeah. Hold on.
Often see folks from ACT. We all know that. Like they do that. You know, we do often see folks from Africa. Oftentimes, if they're able to immigrate to the U.S., they're coming from a middle class or upper class position. They have a higher education, and then so you know, weaponizing that against U.S.
Okay, so start right there. Okay, she's talking about the highly selected elite class of immigrants, right? African immigrants, which I already touched yesterday. Okay, yeah, but yeah. So your elite class, your elite educated class, come to America, and the best y'all can do is get a damn job. This is your elite class. You come to the greatest country with the most opportunities, and your brightest class, the best you can do is come over here and work for a Fortune 500 company. That's the best you can do. These guys haven't built shit over here. Okay, no Walmart, nothing like that. But this is the people who they brag about. Nowhere near what we have done. All right. So yeah, now we take our elite class and send them to Nigeria or Ghana. Come on, man, that should be Wakanda overnight.
Folks that don't have those same kind of opportunities. Like we can have a dialectical
YFG
conversation about those things.
George
Being able to
Trusty.
hold two ideas at the same time, it seems like a lot of people in
Brooke
these comments
Sinclair.
don't have that ability, because you can hold that the U.S. in some capacities does weaponize immigrants against U.S. born folks. You can have that
LLPs.
conversation. Like that is not an argument that I would ever.
Exactly, Eli W. I said the same exact thing. Comparing their elite class to our whole. Comparing a partial selected elite class to our whole is retarded. And like serious scholars like, well, you know, she's a student and she's calling people intellectual inferior, and she's a dumbass, because no sociologist, no economist, serious one, will make that comparison. They compare immigrant elite classes to immigrant elite classes, and they compare holes with holes. Okay, let me give Eli W a lineage wrench so you can be a mod in the chat. Let me see what these likes say. Is the likes respectable? Let me see what we doing as a lineage in the like column. All right, we're getting better, but we're still far. Where we at? We're about 30 away. A little better, but family, you come in, please like the video. We're about 30 away, but we're getting there.
That's nothing that I would ever disagree with. And also, like, it's a weaponization. It's not that the immigrants are this bad thing. It's just that the people that are buying into that rhetoric are so colonized that they don't understand that they're repeating government talking points.
See, we are so colonized that we are repeating, like, we're just the most susceptible, vulnerable, stupid people on the planet. We just can't avoid the tricks of the white government. This is their religion that's called Pan-Africanism. We can't avoid the white man tricks, okay? Meanwhile, when we compare talking points, we can see their talking points are outline exactly what the white supremacists say. And when we say, hey, why don't you quote something we say that white supremacists say, they can't come up with nothing. But vice versa. Let us start to quote what you say that white supremacists say, and we could quote you guys verbatim, word for word. We could go tit for tat. You guys don't do that. You guys are parroting white supremacist talking points, not us.
They're repeating like Trump, neoconservative, even some Democratic talking points. And they don't even realize it because haven't really done that work.
Look, we haven't. We're just stupid. We're just inevitably stupid. You did. We haven't done any work. Only the Pan-Africanists has done work, and they got nothing to show for it, by the way. They need us to accomplish it, but so they need us to accomplish everything, but then we're so insignificant and have not done anything. I mean, I don't know how those two realities can make sense. We're dumb and useless, but then they can use us. Okay. All right, come on. What else negative things you got to say about us?
To Black, understand what it is, the ideology that they're espousing.
Yeah. Interesting enough, before we even,
so somebody checked it right here. Somebody said, French owes Haiti reparations. West Africa had Jews that was enslaved and brought to America. This history is recorded in the Bible. Somebody said some shit like that, but they corrected her. They said the French owes Haiti reparations. Let's see how they respond to that.
Agreed to do this program, we did look at the ADOS sites. We looked at the
Woman
FBA
Queen
sites
Peace.
and their platforms, and we
Yeah,
also
but why don't you talk to somebody who represents ADOS, Freedmen, or FBA? You're claiming you're reading websites, but then you say ADOS came up with Tether. Like I don't even know how that's even possible. Okay, so you're not doing good research. You're too unfocused. You got ADD or something like that. You're not uh keeping your attention on one thing. So I did write them. I did invite them to have this dialogue where they could talk to an FBA person and not talk about us.
did we do our research before we come on here and talk.
You don't, because you just said Tether was associated with ADOS. That's not good research. That's revenue research. That's Tether Dream research.
Talk to people because we want to make sure that we are educated. This is a form of political education.
Intuitively
so we
wise.
want to make sure that we are accurately educating all of our viewers, and because the goal is to unify us to have African freedom. We don't want to have we don't want to have this divide, which is what is occurring, and what these conversations are, these stances and conversations are creating is a divide between, working class people, oppressed African people here and abroad. When we talk about the African immigrants that have come to America, we are talking the ones who are benefiting from colonization on the continent of Africa.
What is he talking about?
Very rarely are going to have people who come from the bush, what they call the bush or the village, and now are poor Africans because they can't afford to come over here.
Wait, but why would that be the goal? Why would they be affording? Why are they trying to afford to come over here? Why not just build your own homeland up? That part I'm just not getting. Why are you trying to come over here? Why? I mean, again, nobody hates Africa more than an African. She's doing all this African talk, but she's talking about, and she hates America so much, but she's talking about Africans who can't afford to come to America. But I thought America was the devil, Babylon, the wicked. Aren't they where they need to be?
Or don't have the opportunities to, as far as education.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but aren't y'all supposed to be building that up in Africa for them? I don't understand what's going on. You just said African global activism. Okay, in America, and you keep saying America is like destroying African progress. So why would you be campaigning for Africans to come to America to help America destroy African progress?
Jane above for this donation of $20.
All
right. We recognize the difficulty of being in this chat right now, but somebody told us to open the phone lines. We don't got phone lines.
The chat is cooking them. Now look what they said. They don't got phone lines. They don't got phone lines. Now, conveniently, they don't have phone lines, but you got a link though. You got a StreamYard link. Listen, she's gonna run for the smoke.
All right.
And look, they're gonna run from the smoke. They talking all that trash. Now FBA know they pulled up. They said, "Hey man, open the phone line. Send the link." Listen to her response.
We recognize the difficulty of being in this chat right now, but somebody told us to open the phone lines. We don't got phone lines. This is our show, and the way that you communicate with us is via the chat, and if that's not
via the chat, talking all that smack, but you can't pull up on the panel. So I already know they're not gonna respond to me.
Good for you, then you're always welcome to jump off, but we will be sharing some of your comments to make a point. And
I hate when I do that. This dumbass fancy mouse.
We recognize the difficulty of being in this chat right now, but somebody told us to open the phone lines. We don't got phone lines. This is our show. And the way that you communicate with us is via the chat. And if that's not good for you, then you're always welcome to jump off. But we will be sharing some of your comments to make a point.
Yes, it is. Press
And
play.
one of the points is that the comments that
Dodged all the FBA smoke. We don't got a phone line, but you do have a link, the StreamYard link, and you're not going to offer that out, but you're going to talk trash about them and complain about the reactions from the chat. I'm so glad FBAs are cooking them.
showing how divisional this process is. I think Jay did a really good job at explaining, like, there are some points around reparations and around the exceptionalism of the United States raising up, immigrants of the was it the exceptional immigrant over others, and also deepening that divide. And what ADOS and FBAs are doing is also jumping into that as well, and stretching the divide. There was one person on here called us funky Africans, and the position was rooted in subjectivism, as opposed to there having a political standpoint that could be argued or even to discuss.
Here we go with the political
And
standpoint.
It's like grade school thinking.
it is. It's really like the chat is disappointing.
Yeah, where is she from? As she said, that's grade school thinking. This woman right here, is no way she's foundation Black American. Is no way. She's been throwing all the shots with dealing with intellectual, education. She's been throwing now is grade school thinking. She's just been throwing personal shots the entire time. This little, what is this? Somebody said she's Asian.
If there's going to be somebody representing FBA or ADOS in the chat, at least come
with something representation. Very poor representation.
Very poor representation.
Yeah, but they can be tethered. They can be like, how do you know the FBA ADOS? See, you don't open the lines, so you're not going to know.
Like, at least come with something that could be like, yeah, this is our position. This is why we think this way. And unfortunately, we understand your position. Like, we understand that this is Black, you came from enslaved African people, or you believe that you are Aboriginal to this colony, or to the land base that became the colony, right? If you're saying that you're Aboriginal, that means that you were here before the formation of the United States of America, in which case I don't know why you would call yourself foundational Black American, because then if you're Aboriginal to this, you're before the American project, right? So, but even if that's the case, even if that you are descendants of enslaved Africans, or you don't want to be called African, whatever, you're enslaved peoples, right? And then and you came before Columbus, sort of thing, right? You were here on this land base. I think one of the most important things that we can see is that when a cop see you, they don't know you're FBA or ADOS over a Jamaican.
Yeah, is it possible, family? Is it possible for every tether to just have the same analogy? Is that possible? You got hella FBAs. You got same day who called up. You got you got Maxwell Jenkins who called up. You got the holy FBA Codex TV1 who called up. You got Tariq Nasheed got his own podcast. You got Jason Black and so many others. Yeah, you got Dan, you got Macau, you got so many different FBAs, and you got myself, and we all argue differently. But they'll say we're all Tariq, lights. We're all Tariqites, right? We just borrow his talking points, and we all debate differently. Marcel argues differently, and a lot of sisters, we argue differently. How is it possible that tethers say the same? They make the same arguments, the same analogies, the same examples. They say the same. Is that even possible? Now we're back to the last woman that spoke to Tariq. Now she said the same thing. Why? How is it possible? How is it possible they all say if a police officer pulled us over, how would they tell the difference? Well, I'll tell you. First of all, if a police officer pulled me over, a goddamn tether won't be in the car. So, like, your analogy, your example is already flawed. Like, a tether would not be in the car with me. So this scenario wouldn't even happen. But let's go with your fantasy. If a police officer pulled me over and there's a tether in the car, first of all, we got pulled over because of the tether. All right. The tether was an informant, plotting on me. And that's why we even pulled over. So, yes, the police officer will know his informant tether from me. So, yes, they will know. And when they ask for IDs, and when you see your name, wait, what's her name?
So to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
So they don't
her
know
name
unless you
is
flash them sort of
Yajai.
badge that maybe y'all created.
Look, her name is Yajai, some African bullshit. Ma'am, once you hand the police officer your ID, and that thing says the African name, and
Is
this
there a
little Asian
passport that
lady,
y'all creating?
mine's going to say Ronna Harrison. Okay. Clearly FBA. That's how the officer would know who is who. Our ID. You didn't know that? You're going to have an African ID. I'm going to have an American ID. When I say American African, I'm talking about the name. My name is American. Your name is African. That's how the officer's going to know who is who. Okay. But again, we're not even in the same car. So this analogy is stupid.
Right now that can show that you are FBA, and if so, does that passport clear the, if the police saw that, would they be like, okay, they're FBA, they're one of us, right? And that's what they would say.
No. That's not what they'll say. They'll say she's a tether. She's one of us. You got that backwards, man. You got that backwards, man. We are enemy number one for white supremacy. Not you guys. You guys are team white supremacy. You guys got the wrong narrative about us.
That's what they would say. You're one of us, because the position that you're putting forward is that,
Yeah, how's that possible? Family, how is the FBA one of team white supremacy? If that was true, then there'll be no such thing as systemic racism. Is this woman crazy? Stop and frisk, 94 crime bill, all these laws, the mass incarceration, that's geared to FBA men and women. Job discrimination, housing discrimination. Is this woman crazy? If we were one of them, then what was the civil rights movement all about? That was about racial discrimination, racial segregation. Man, we are the furthest from one of them. And when she say them, I'm guessing the them equals team white supremacy. Yeah, we are the number one enemy of team white supremacy. We are the only, I can even argue, we're the only ones who try to fight team white supremacy and end it and expose it. You guys come to this country and you guys are team white supremacy for the moment you land.
People are immigrants. Tether, this is a new concept that I've never heard of before, but this is funny as hell. I think y'all should know this, that when y'all talk, it's not like, oh wow, my position has changed. It just basically reinforces the fact that what you're saying is crazy. It's wild stuff. Like it's not rooted in anything except your own feelings. And
Yeah, but she won't take any calls from the chat though. Her own chat, she won't take any calls. Peace to Child of God. Who else came in the building? We got JB. He said they stopped them thinking they are. Right, JB. Let me get JB a wrench. Lineage wrench. Right. They stopped tethers because they think you're one of us. And once they see your ID and everything, they let you go.
maybe you had somebody on your
Stop. Let
job
go.
who was an immigrant that got a
Stop.
job that you thought should have been yours, but that's some white nationalist thinking.
Right.
I need y'all to find this connection.
Right. Nah, the holy don't crash out on these garbage people, but these garbage pail kids. But yes, they are supremely disrespectful. Supremely.
I don't know why you can't. I need
Yeah.
y'all to understand your connection to white nationalism and how you would fit right in with the Proud Boys or the Klan. Like, I need y'all to understand that. And there's nothing.
So if we're team white supremacy again, then how is there a such thing as systemic racism? So you mean systemic racism was created after the 90s when you guys came here mass influx in the millions? That's when systemic racism was born. If we were team white supremacy, then who was Jim Crow for? But these tethers are delusional.
Nothing wrong with having Black pride. I love my Black people. Somebody said all kinfolk ain't skinfolk. We
Facts.
agree. This is
All
Young
skin
deity.
folk ain't
David
kin
we
folk.
Williamson.
agree because we know that there's a There's the people who benefit from our oppression, African people who benefit from our oppression, but generally speaking, African people all over the world experience this oppression. And when you come to the United States, you don't become some different kind of African.
No,
And
you become the one kind of African. You become the only African in the United States when you come over here. You are the only African.
you don't become exceptional to the oppression and exploitation that happens in this country.
Now, notice they don't say certain things. Notice she don't say racism. They keep saying oppression and exploitation. Look what she's not saying. She's not ever saying racism. She's never saying systemic racism. Okay, because they know that's not a thing in Africa or the islands. There's no such thing as systemic racism in the islands in Africa. Right? That's not a thing. So she's saying what she's being careful with her words. Oppression. Anybody can be oppressed. You know, and oppression don't have a color. Like oppression is so vague, man. A boyfriend, relatives can oppress each other. Like that, like, your job can oppress you.
However, if you choose this line, maybe you think that you might be excused from it.
Which is ahistorical and just silly. I mean, because they literally just
Keith
deported
Lamont.
a Black American who was born.
Correct.
Their parents were U.S. citizens on a military base outside the country.
Okay, family. What this garbage lady's doing right now, this garbage lady, whatever she is, non-FBA lady. Now she's about to misrepresent something, and luckily I'm covering this. Okay, so yes, if you have a baby with a foreigner on a military base that's not in America, that's not United States of America, that child does not get citizenship. That does not count. Just because the military base is American, that's not what makes you. That's what not gives you birth. Military base does not give you birthright citizenship. It's America. Okay, you goddamn lying ass tether. So you're in a military base in Japan and you have a baby with a Japanese person, that baby is Japanese. If you are in a military base in Italy, yes, that baby's Italian. Okay, but that baby's everything but that is non FBA. It's everything but FBA. So she's about to go ahead and lie and misrepresent a story on purpose, or maybe she's as dumb as she's calling us.
So they're just deported a Black American who was born.
Correct.
Their parents were U.S. citizens on a military base outside the country. So they are born
Yes.
outside the country on a U.S. military base.
Yeah, no, that okay. See, you're a fool. If you're born in a military base outside the country, you don't get birthright citizenship. You're a fool if you don't know that. Okay, chat, listen to me carefully. I don't care about the passport and citizenship. If you listen, you can be an American citizen. Okay, you could be in the FBA. If you have a baby on a military base outside the country, your baby does not get birthright citizenship.
By Americans. And this person's citizenship was revoked and they were deported
right.
to a place that they've never been before. And so they're like, we have never been considered full citizens, like Black people in general, whether you are a descendant of
Dre
US
Scott, come on.
slaves or
Yeah, here they go. Dress Scott. Yeah, I guarantee you. Well, we know they just talking shit. All right, they don't know what they're saying. They're just saying stuff. They cannot explain the Dred Scott case. They just saying shit, man. Like they're just saying stuff that's just known, but they're not ever gonna break it down. Like she didn't break down why that person did not get citizenship and was deported to Uganda or what's that other country? Swatini, something like that. No, Eswatini.
or Jamaican slaves or whatever. We have never been considered full citizens. And this idea
There's no such thing as Jamaican slaves, okay? There was no slave breeding in Jamaica. There was no slave plantation in Jamaica. All right, they were being colonized.
that like Trump's just going to take the Latinos and not us is actually quite silly. And
Here go the fear mongering. So Trump is going to take it now. Listen, like, yeah, man, talk to me when Trump is taking legal Latinos, okay, that belong here. At least start there. Do not start the fear mongering with Trump taking illegal Latinos. This is a stupid position. Like these women are just chasing, and no wonder they don't take calls. No wonder they don't let people join the panel, and it's no wonder they'll most likely ignore my invitation.
And not rooted in reality. And it's also interesting because, you know, folks at the beginning of this session were saying it's a lie that you know, ADOS and FBA is conservative ideology. That's a lie. That's far right. Then why do we have all these pro-Trump people in our comments?
I mean,
You know, like
we say this.
proving your own points. Like, you know, it's just it's silly to me, and it just, I mean, for me, it just shows again a lack of analysis, a lack of being able to understand
We're stupid.
depth, or be able to hold two concepts at the same time. And
Okay, so let me see if this is what she's talking about. So you know me. You know, yeah, y'all should know me. Okay. A child born to an American soldier on a military base outside the U.S. is not automatically a U.S. citizen by birth. Uh-oh. See, this woman sat here and lied to y'all and appealed to emotions. One more time. See, I don't just talk, I source up. A child born to an American soldier on a military base outside the U.S. is not automatically a U.S. citizen by birth. Instead, citizenship is acquired by law through the parents, but often requires filing an application with U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, to prove eligibility based on the parent's U.S. citizenship and required physical presence or residency before the child's birth. The military base location, while controlled by the U.S., is not considered U.S. territory. One more time. I should say it 3 times like Umar. The military base location, while controlled by the U.S., is not considered U.S. territory under the 14th Amendment, meaning birthright citizenship does not apply in the same way as birth within the United States itself. Okay? You see, there's levels to research. Everybody claim to be researchers, but they're flawed in research. Okay? So she just lied on purpose. Okay, she just lied.
And also, you know, let's get into this idea around the comprador class, because there are U.S. born comprador class folks, there are African born comprador class folks, and so oftentimes the folks that we're dealing with in the U.S. that are coming from you know, African and Caribbean nations, you know, they might themselves be coming from the comprador class, which is why they can afford to move to the U.S. And as part of the comprador class, you know, they're upholding U.S. ideology and U.S. ways of being in their own country at their own country's expense. Like that's how they even get here. And so when as payment for upholding U.S. ideology in their countries, they get, like, you know, a little bit more than maybe U.S. born Black folks. But we also here in the U.S. have our own, you know, there are Black folks born ADOS, I guess, Black folks, African descendants of enslaved people who, like, they're also part of the comprador class. And, you know, Michael, what's his name? Michael Langley is a great example of that, of, you know, of Black folks that are ADOS that are part of the comprador class, that whose goal is to uphold, you know, the white supremacist U.S. ideology and U.S. ways of being and the U.S. imperial project at the expense of pretty much everyone, both folks internally oppressed in the colony, but also folks external to the colony. And so maybe we should go into that. Or I mean, we could still talk about, you know, that.
Yeah. Let me build off that, because one of the points of resource that I am researching is from the Institute of the Black World 21st Century, and the article is Understanding ADOS. So one of the things that they talk about is the, you know, in order,
they are so obsessed with us that they can't get anything done with what they're trying to do. Right? They're so obsessed with trying to take us down, debunk us, make us look crazy, that they can't get anything going for themselves and in their whatever they got going on.
To get reparations, again, connecting the harm to the reparations, that a former comment and a few other comments that state, that means that Black Americans would have to go through a purity test. And how many of us can trace our lineage or can trace our heritage back to slavery?
Hey, yo, what's wrong with these folks, yo? They just say random shit. Yo, you got all type of what's the stuff called ancestry.com and heritage thing. Yo, that is so easy for I'm not saying all of us, but that is so easy for a lot of us to do. Is to trace our lineage. Yes. Okay. That is so easy for us to do. It's not hard, man. We're not 15 years old. We're not 7 years old. Some of us are 47, 50, and 60. Okay, and we'll get spaghetti. It's not that hard for us to do. But a lot of us could just know, like some of our great grandmothers was actual slaves. Like we're not that young. Some of us are not that young. Some of us, our great grandmothers was a slave, or our great grandmother parents were slaves. We're not that far removed. I don't know why they believe that. Yo, we also, like, for example, my mother know who her parents are. She know who her grandparents are, right? And they had last names. And then there's those grandparents had parents and grandparents. That's it. It's not that hard for us to do. I don't know why they believe that it's not hard for me at all. And a lot of people in the chat had already done it. But again, that's not your problem. That's not your issue. Why is that a big thing? If some of us can't trace our lineage, then that's our problem. That's something we got to figure out and work out. And I'm sure when reparations is a thing, when it's like right around the corner, I'm sure that we will have tools, devices to help us, the ones who need extra help to trace their lineage. We're gonna have that. We're not as incompetent as these folks want to paint us as.
I know I can't. I could trace it, like I could trace it right there. And
Okay, this chick is about 90 years old, and she said I cannot trace my lineage to. She said she can't trace her lineage to slavery. Oh, okay, because you're probably non-FBA. How about that? How about could that be the real cause? How about you can't trace your lineage because you're not of the lineage? Could that be a small possibility? Could that be the case? Yeah, I mean you're probably non-FBA. So stay out of our business.
it can trace our heritage back, can trace a former comment and a few other comments that state that means that Black Americans would have to go through a purity test. And how many of us can trace our lineage or can trace our heritage back to slavery? I know I can't. I could trace it, like I could trace it right there. And any time before there is a white ancestor, because we came over here as commodities.
But also, Coco, who's tracing their lineage back to slavery? I want all these ADOS people to do their lineage, and what they're going to tell you is that you from Ghana and you're from the Twi people, Africans. So that's what I want.
No, that's what you're gonna get. That's not what we're gonna get. Okay, we're not gonna get that right there. All right, that's what you're gonna get.
Look, I did my ancestry DNA. Guess what it says?
What did it say?
I'm 44. I connect with 44% of Cameroonian and Bantu people.
Okay, so it means you're not that. Because they are 99% that, they are 90% that, they are 98% that. Okay, so you just admitted you're not that. So what are you?
That's what my ancestry DNA states. If you're talking about having slavery papers,
or, wait. No, what about the rest of it? Because if you're 44% that means you're 56% something else.
Or your connection.
Infinite 74 says I'm in the 1790s. Right. So what the hell is she talking about? Let me give Infinite a lineage wrench. Infinite, like the video. So we got Congo, my abuse in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
To slavery as criteria for reparations or affirmative action, as this article clearly, this article articulately states, and an individual have to have a reasonable documentation of at least one ancestor enslaved in the United States. When most of us were categorized as commodities, as cattle almost.
What the hell they got to do with the requirement to be FBA? What are we talking about?
Like just as a cow, your cow, that's why your grandma's name is Annabelle, because Annabelle is the name of a cow.
So Wall Street Willie, don't erase Willie's comment. Willie said that is absolutely true. If reparations happen today, most blacks will have trouble tracing their families back to the 1800s. I've tested my theory already. You don't even know what a theory is, for one. But let me put the link in the chat. I would love to know the sample size of your quote unquote theory. Let me put the link in the chat for you, buddy. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put the phone number in the chat. Hold on. This is just for Willie, Wall Street Willie. Okay, hold on. Make this phone number. I want to hear more about this theory. So Wall Street Willie, this is for you. If you want to call in and explain your theory, I'm interested. Hold on, Willie. My man said I already tested my theory. Most FBAs can't trace their lineage. Okay. All right. I want to learn more about this theory. And I don't think you know what a theory is, by the way, brother. Because you wouldn't use that. You would have said something else. Your pole, or something else. You wouldn't have said theory. All right. Okay. So there you go. Hold on. Yeah, my man said 1800s. All right. Let me see. So, okay. So hold on. So there you go. Wall Street Will, if you would like to share your theory, so Roddy said my own grandparents were born in the 1930s and he can easily trace their own parents. Right. I don't know how it's so hard. Like, I don't know why folks think this is so hard thing to do. This guy, Wall Street Willie, says you don't have StreamYard. No, I got Zoom. Like, so, you want the link here? What about I didn't want to give you the link? Here you go. This guy said, you don't have StreamYard? No, I got Zoom. Zoom is for professionals. Okay. So yeah, click that. Yeah, by the way, with Wall Street Willie, I teach kids on Zoom via Zoom. Yeah. So this is convenient. This is more convenient for me than StreamYard. All right. Anyway, Wall Street, and click that video. I'll click that link. I want to hear more about this theory.
How in Wisconsin right now?
Who thinks Willie gonna click the link?
Now, our slavery is not a lineage. Slavery is something that happened to African people, something that we endured, we survived, we revolted against, and within that we carry. We talk about traditions.
So hold on. They are one. Queen Quest Burnside, peace. He said they on one. I've traced my people back to 17. Yeah, they wilding. They bugging. So Kip DR says the U.S. Census kept meticulous records for 100 years. Do you even have a? Yeah, exactly. Let me give Kip DR a lineage wrench so he can represent the moderators and be one himself. Faye Tinsley says, okay, FBA here. To find most of our lineage, go to the insurance companies such as MetLife. Isn't it funny how everyone wants to be FBA now, like Roland Martin and Amanda Sills? Peace, Faye. Let me give Faye a lineage wrench so Faye could be a moderator to help organize, keep this chat from being chaotic. Roddy back in the chat, he says, how about some are older than 30 years, 30, and we are already know our family's history. Sorry for you people that sit around in ignorance. Go talk to your elder families. Yeah. So I'm guessing Roddy is FBA. Let me give Roddy a lineage wrench. Okay. So anyway, let's go.
And culture, I'm making black-eyed peas and fried fish today, which are African. You can find those same meals in Africa. You couldn't find black-eyed peas on Turtle Island, as it was called, as is the indigenous people.
Yeah, what the hell is she talking about? Black-eyed peas and blah blah blah. See, now I did a video explaining inventions versus innovations. I did a video, all that same video, I explained the difference between inventors and innovators. And most family inventions are and inventors are great. You know, they had an original idea and they put it forward. But most of the work is done by the innovators and innovations. They take the invention and they make it better, right? So in most cases, if you show me an invention, I can show you that the innovation of the invention is way better and way more widely used. Okay, so being the first is great, but that don't mean that that product is the best out there. It's usually the innovation of that product is more convenient and more widely used. Okay, so if black-eyed peas come from Africa, okay, fine. I don't know, but that's the invention, that's the origin. But that don't mean you make it like us. All right.
Commonly called it. You couldn't find black-eyed peas and you could find corn. We brought over okra. We brought over all these things from the continent of Africa that we had to make our homes here.
Now look how petty they go. See, dirt comes from Africa first. Okay, so if anybody plants a seed in dirt, you're African. Yeah, they become desperate with these weak arguments.
We sewed it in our, we braided seeds in our hair. We brought over traditions in our hair.
Okay, so Wall Street Willie, listen, I got you, bro. So what you cannot do is open like that. You have to copy the link and paste it in a new browser. Okay, so I got you. That's why I gave you the phone number first. But what you can't click it. You can't click it and open it. Like your device won't allow that. So what you got to do is you got to copy the link, open a new window and paste it there. There you go. I just solved your problem. You can find fried bushmeat. Yeah, exactly. Make it real number 19, a lineage wrench. And everybody who's new here and you got a lineage wrench, make sure you subscribe and like the video today. Peace to Pinky. Okay, so First Eye Beats. I see you in the building. Charlie Shaw says she's lying. Yep, of course she is. She's just making shit up. Everything's from Africa. So the Mandalorian says, peace, FB family. How is it easier to trace our lineage back to Africa than America? Yeah. Good point. All of a sudden, it's easier to change your lineage back to Africa rather than America. Okay, so let me give you a lineage wrench. One Love says, there are no diaspora war. The war is one-sided. These Africans are envious people. They are fighting themselves. Exactly. Oh, we don't want to accord with that. Let me give One Love a lineage wrench. So everybody who's new here, who's embracing with the family, the lineage, and the writers, go ahead and like the video, subscribe, and let's keep it lit in here.
Here we are dance moves. So yes, we have developed into something else, but just like you have you have different countries and tribes in the continent of.
And if you are new here and you don't have a wrench, please just have me acknowledge that you are FBA Adolphs, a freedman of the lineage, so I can give you all the lineage wrench, right? Because our family, we are one and we're going to stay unified. Pinky Wells says everything came from Africa, but they don't have shit. I can't believe what she's saying. You're right. Like they are desperate. Like these folks know they can't compete with us with shit. So they got to come up with these crazy, well, the first man to breathe oxygen was in Africa. I was like, okay, I get it. You worship Africa. Cool. I understand. I know Pan-Africanism is your religion and you got a set of beliefs in once. I get it.
Africa that have similarities, but have been able to, develop in their own unique way due to the region and
Draco said he's FBA, so I gave Draco a lineage wrench. I want to know if the awakening is FBA, so I could give him or her their lineage wrench.
You know, to do the commonalities, that's things that we have done here. That's things that people have done in Jamaica and other parts of the Caribbean,
Buckhorse DC.
in Brazil, and
Cracknet at
in
32 piece.
South America. Also I love going to Carnival in Toronto. If Africans wasn't in Toronto, how did we get Carnival in Toronto, Caribana?
Oh, they don't like that. They don't want to go.
Okay, so now she said carnival. Well, carnival comes from the Romans. Okay, so the West Indian people were mocking the Romans. So carnival is not an African diaspora origination. That comes from the Romans. That comes from white people. Okay, they were doing that dancing and running around just half naked. And when they left, the West Indian people dressed up in mockery, and then they made it a thing of theirs. All right. So carnival, the origins are not African diasporan at all.
Go to Caribana, you know,
they don't want to do none of that stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, peace, Brandon. Let me give Lynn. Yeah, we don't want to know that stuff. Yeah, no, we actually know that stuff. That's the thing. Like they keep believing we don't know history. They keep believing that we don't have eyes and a brain to comprehend what we read. Okay, and I see somebody in the chat. A real number. Said peace to him. All right, yeah. So like the video, everybody, subscribe, and we'll be live again for Diaspora.
For that, I'll
feel like there
You know, I think pathetic really, to think that your lineage sort of like begins and ends with slavery. Like, Africans have existed and literally had these amazing, incredible civilizations for thousands of years. We literally like invented mathematics and all of these things that are like the baseline of how we structure our society today. And like this idea that
I'm claiming
we
that.
just are like that ADOS folks that their lineage begins with enslavement. It's like, how disrespectful to your ancestors is that? Do you think your ancestors want you to be thinking that? Do you think your ancestors that were enslaved, that were stolen from Africa, want you to think that that should define your lineage? When I was in Ghana, and I went to the slave dungeons they have there on the Gold Coast, and it was just interesting because they had a couple different graves that were enslaved people that had just their last dying wish was that they could be returned to their home.
Okay, wait, it froze. Give me a second. Okay, it freezes. That's the first time it froze, so we're actually doing good. Okay, so you asked the question. Caribbean Carnival began with French settlers in the late 18th century in Trinidad. Okay, so are we reading together? Caribbean Carnival began with French settlers. So no, this ain't Caribbean. In the late 18th century in Trinidad, who brought the Europeans pre-Lenten masquerade tradition to the islands. You see, this is a European pre-Lenten masquerade tradition to the islands. Following the abolition of slavery, enslaved Africans and their descendants transformed the festival into a defiant celebration of freedom, incorporating African culture elements like drumming, dance, and satire into their own unique masquerades and traditions. This fusion of European and African cultures led to the creation of iconic Caribbean carnival elements, including calypso music and the steel pan, and a new independent cultural festival that now draws visitors from around the world. So yes, this channel is called FBA News and Updates, and that was an update. Carnival is French. Okay. That's a France thing.
Africa. And these are people that were enslaved, brought to the US, and their last dying wish, and that wish didn't actually get to be fulfilled until very recently, hundreds of years after. And we were part of this beautiful ceremony. And it's just like, can you imagine that ancestor who was stolen from their homeland, homeland that they loved and forced here, and their dying wish was to return to their homeland? Can you imagine how they would feel about having...
Let me pause that. So somebody said something in the chat. I want to read. Aspiring Heights, peace. No one was stolen. They were sold. Right. Your name's Cizan. I'm gonna give you a lineage wrench. You dig? Make sure you like the video and subscribe. We will be live later with a part 2 once this show ends. William Johnson, peace. But there was a comment I want to read. Panther Jones in the building. Yeah, family. So you see, Carnival was not even theirs originally. Let me see. There was a comment in the chat. Oh, okay. So Keisha E says, why don't they speak about getting kicked out of Europe and only allowed back to build Europe infrastructure? Damn. Keisha E. Let me give Keisha E a lineage wrench. Keisha E, same thing. Like the video, subscribe, and tune into our other podcasts that we have. They'd be interesting. All right. So I think that was it. Okay, cool. Yeah. So Carnival. Now we know what Carnival, where it came from. The French.
Having a descendant that is like, no, like I'm proud to be part of this enslaved, this colonial project. Like Africans, man, African tethers this and that. Do you think that your enslaved ancestors...
You are African. I don't care how long, how far, you are African. You can't wash. I mean, you're not, like, unless you're in the tub, even if you...
Yeah, these guys are crazy. It all comes down to that. Okay, they don't care about FBA talking points. They don't care about Adolf's website. You dig? They don't care about reparations, and they care about you are African. She just crashed out. The hell with these talking points. I crashed out. You guys are African. They're gonna make us something we're not. I was like, okay. And we need you to be African because we can't get shit popping unless you guys are on board. So we need you to put on dashikis, Kwanzaa outfits, and we need you guys to, join the drums and the band, this for that banjo, and you dig the little tribal dances. We need you guys to get on board this Pan-African shit one more time, and we promise we'll deliver you guys to a place in Africa. Man, look, you had 200 years. You had 200 years to produce something tangible within the thought, the movement of Pan-Africanism. You guys dropped the ball. You produced nothing but scammers. Marcus Garvey and Umar Johnson. That's all Pan-Africanism had produced. Pan-Africanism has produced 2 national scammers of America, well-known national scammers, Dr. Umar Johnson and Marcus Scam Garvey. All right. And that's it. That's the end of your story. In 200 years, all you have produced was 2 scammers who promised some big, glorious Wakanda things and didn't come close. Neither one of them came close to producing anything. They both bought old stuff. Marcus Garvey bought old ships that couldn't sail 10 feet. And Umar bought an abandoned building that he lived in, allegedly. Okay, but there was no students. There were no teachers, no staff, not even an HVAC, working HVAC in there. All right, that's a fact. So they want to crash out, make us African to to buy into the next Pan-Africanist dream. So it was first steamships, a line of steamships, and then it was a school. Like, what's next? A UFO? Yeah, we're gonna produce a UFO. It's gonna take you guys to another planet. Like, come on. The gig is up.
You can wash it off with the carbolic soap. You know what that is. And you tried to whiten your skin. You African. And you
We are
yeah.
communists.
They said we try to whiten our skin when cake soap is big in Africa.
I mean, we're socialists. We're socialists.
I pinned a few. I pinned some comments, but Stephen had asked what are tethers, and we explained earlier that tethers. What are they?
Peace to I just seen Andrea Christopher. Let's see. Yeah, Crystal Watson's FBA. Bad Seed Entertainment. Peace to you. Bad Seed says they said for years we're not African. Now we are. Yeah. I'm telling you, he said he calls it bipolar tethering. It's a fact. And look, they said we're not African, and they are. Now all of a sudden we're African. And then they said they were not black. We are, and now all of a sudden they're black. Like, no, we're not African, and you're not black. You had it right the first time. Crack Netter says 3 funky PUSSY African spitting nonsense. Facts. Oh yeah, definitely Keisha E. Ryan, aka says no, Revon, aka says many micro wanna be colonizers. Yeah. Breath 45 piece. Cake soap came from Jamaica. Oh, really? Jamaica is the origins of that? Interesting. Vibes Cartel and other popular Caribbean skin bleach. All right, so I think you FBA. Give you a lineage wrench. All right, proceed.
We are tethers are African people who I guess first generation come from people from the Caribbean and Africa.
Now look how they purposely misrepresent the definition of tether. Like Tariq Nasheed got about 20 videos explaining what a tether is and what it ain't. And I just watched a live where somebody asked, 2 people called in the same live and asked, what is a tether? Right? So over years, the definition of tether has been explained the same exact way without wavering. All right. And then they want to keep purposely misrepresenting the definition. The definition tether, what is not. It does not define non-FBAs as so non-FBAs are not tethers. Tethers are like a coon of the African diaspora or continent. Yes. Yeah. We're gonna get you in the tub in a second. I have to make this last comment. So in our lineage, we got people who are backwards, right? Who trying to stop our progression, our production. Okay, we call them coons. So are all FBAs coon? No, just the backwards class, the ones who are off code, who's trying to stop our progression, hinder it, and they're basically team white supremacy. And you want a quick name? We got Candace Owens, we got Larry Elder, Thomas Sowell. Okay, now let's move on. So, like FBAs, you have the African immigrants, right? They have a coon class who tries to stop FBA progress, undermine us, sabotage us, infiltrate. Okay, so those African immigrants, we don't call coons. Coons is only reserved for lineage people, lineage sellouts, and team white supremacists. African immigrants who are team white supremacy, we call them tethers. Okay, so coons and tethers almost mean the same thing. It is a very exclusive term. It's not all inclusive. Those 2 terms are very exclusive. I mean, there's no way to explain it better than that. So no, not every African immigrant of the diaspora or continent is a tether, just the ones who are hateful towards FBA. But listen to this tether purposely misrepresent the definition of tether, and they claim to be researchers. They claim to do their research in advance.
First generation.
You this enslaved,
Let's start from the top.
This colonial project, like Africans man, African tethers this and that. Do you think that your enslaved ancestors?
You are African. I don't care how long, how far you are African. You can't wash. I mean, you're not like unless you're in the tub. Even if you can wash it off with the carbolic soap, you know what that is, and you try to whiten your skin. You African, and you,
We are
yeah.
communists. I mean, we're socialists. We're socialists.
I pinned a few. I pinned some comments, but Stephen had asked what are tethers, and we explained earlier that tethers. What are they? We are tethers are African people who I guess first generation come from people from the Caribbean and African first generation born here come from. I want to play a clip, and I think this might get all of our eight.
Say, this comment around you're a communist if you're talking about Americans being from Africa. So I guess you all must not support the Black Panthers then, right? Because you know that they were all communists, right? And you know that they were all African internationalists, right? So I guess you all don't support that movement in any kind of capacity. I would just
you may not have the Black Panthers, but you got the Uhuru House.
Let me play this clip, and I just imagine it's going to get all the people in the chat wet, except for African internationalists. And it's from your boy Trump, and I'm sure that you all have enjoyed some of especially the birthright citizenship determinations from the Supreme Court. So here's what he had to say about that. All the Trump supporters about to get a little porno for your screen.
Okay, so why did she say the Black Panthers were I don't know where they were going with that, but I don't recall the Black Panthers ever saying that they are going to go to Africa. Okay? I don't understand. I don't recall that history. All right. So let me see. Chat. Oh, Dexter Dunbar, peace to you. Who else is there? Yeah. So again, like the video. Let me see what the likes at right now. Are we back behind? Or are we on pace? So 166. Oh, we good. 166 watching. We got more than so keep liking the video as you come in. And let me see. Let's get past the Trump stuff.
Saying that's meant for the babies of slaves.
Okay.
And I'm sure that the birthright citizenship was meant for babies of slaves. And I'm sure that when you all saw that and that victory that you celebrated in the on was it yesterday, the day before yesterday, that you all were like, yes. And I'm sure that people who say deport us also are reeling from that. And you know that you qualify because even in the U.S. Constitution, that could be challenged that you are.
All right. So now here's the fear mongering, and this is what tethers do. Now all of a sudden, FBAs, Foundation of Black Americans, ADOS, Black American, whatever you want to call yourself. But if your ancestors were emancipated from enslavement, a tether argument is, oh, you're going to be deported next because they could go back and challenge this. No, they can't. No, they can't. And they won't. Okay. The 14th Amendment, it says what it says. It's not up to a fake, false, pseudo interpretation. It says what it says. And it was only there. The 14th Amendment was only there to override things like the Dred Scott case. Okay. And it was there explicitly to offer citizenship to Black Americans, formerly enslaved blacks. Why? Because you had Frederick Douglass riding in Abraham Lincoln air, and you got a bunch of other Black educated people who were talking with the Union, I think the general of the Union, working out those things, working out 40 acres and a mule, working out citizenship and things like that. All right. That's why we even fought in the war. We didn't fight in the war so white people could be victorious over white people. We fought in the war to see what we can gain. And we knew that the one thing we didn't have, even though we were free blacks, buying stuff, owning property, we knew we didn't have citizenship. We knew we didn't have protections. We knew we didn't have constitutional rights. So part of the deal in fighting with the Union, helping to win, was to establish citizenship, freedom, uh, ownership, rights, period, being included into the Constitution. And that's exactly what the Fourth Amendment has done. That's what it was. That was the whole point of it. Peace, uh, Unc, Bobby West. What it
Yeah,
do?
yeah, pay beating up them homeless people, man.
Oh, why they harmless when they attack you?
You praying on the weak and the meek, yo, and the women, yo. Stop it.
Explain that. What you mean
I
preying
mean,
on the weak?
you getting too technical on them, yo. You know what a person mean when they say we all African, yo. They ain't
No, I
trying to be
don't.
scientific. Hold on, they ain't trying to be scientific, yo. Because fundamentally speaking, all humans are savannah apes, bro. Fundamentally speaking, yo. It's not a human that walk upright. It's not one, a primate, and two, not an African.
Yeah,
No such
let me
thing.
throw this back at you. Let me throw this back at you because you
Yeah,
said
throw it back at me.
we know what they're saying when they say we're all African. Well, do they
Yeah.
know what we're saying when we say we're Foundation Black American?
No, we don't know because if you listen to Tariq Nasheed, this
No,
man
no, wait.
made.
I'm talking. No. We're not
You
doing that
can't.
today.
Don't cut me off. You
Yeah,
talking too
no,
fast.
no,
Don't
no,
don't
no.
cut me
But
off. Don't
but
do it.
listen,
I'm not doing this.
I got you. But I'm
You gotta let
speaking
me
on my.
finish. You gotta let me
I
finish.
got it.
Bro.
I got it. I'm just
All
saying I'm
right.
speaking on myself though. We're not speaking on Tariq. Tariq could call himself. He could call himself an alien. Like that don't represent me and what I call myself.
Okay.
But go ahead.
And you almost derailed the question. I'm telling you, Tariq Nasheed made
Oh, here we
hidden
go.
color movies
Oh
that were
shit.
pseudoscientific. And at the very origin of what FBA is pseudoscientific. You know it like I do. And so just like we don't know what they talking about, you claim, we don't know what the hell Tariq was talking about. Like how we supposed to know what the FBA is, yo? Somebody gotta fix that. And everybody is not doing it. They supposed to step up and say, bro, knock that part off and stop it. And there ain't nobody doing that though. Everybody running with it. Right now in your chat, yo, you're gonna have people that actually think that there was indigenous black people in America, yo. That's wild. That ain't no more. That's wilder than the ladies, is what they saying. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all
Hey,
I'm saying.
but it's wilder than that.
To address that though.
Okay, no. I'm
Oh,
no. Could you
okay.
cite? No, you sidestep me, brother Tariq. Well,
I
he
didn't
didn't.
sidestep you.
Okay.
You said
Wait,
that
is
the
it my go now?
ladies. Yeah, go
Was
ahead.
it okay?
Go ahead.
So you sidestep me speaking for myself, and I'm addressing them. They didn't mention Tariq one time when they were FB.
Because they ain't got no sense too. I got more
Okay,
sense too. They ain't got no
okay,
sense on that.
I got it. But what's more wild than that?
What's wild? Go
You
ahead.
you said Tariq. I want to bring up Garvey because you guys have
I
an
don't think.
issue.
Why you? Whoa! You've been texting me that bullshit. I don't give a fuck about Garvey. He was a wild nigga to me.
So why do I
Why
give a
would you
fuck
put
about
me
Tariq
on the
Nasheed?
Garvey shit?
No,
I've
no,
never
no.
been a Pan-African.
Okay,
Never
hold on.
aspired to be that. So why you keep?
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I
so
want
hold
to ask
on.
you live. Why you keep asking me about Garvey? I ain't never read one
Okay,
book
cool.
about Garvey.
Okay, now
Right.
because there's a
Because
okay,
no,
good.
why you ask me? I'm not
Right,
a Pan-African. Never been that.
there's a good question.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So you guys, this
Who
is
is
the
you
answer.
guys?
This is the answer. You want the
Oh,
answer?
yeah. You
Okay.
said you guys. Who is the you guys?
Right.
I want to know who the
Right.
you guys is
So
first.
let's get the answer.
I might
You
not
got
accept that you guys around.
okay, cool. You can say I reject
Right.
that.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, you guys like to lump up FBAs with Tariq, and that pisses us off. You guys like to lump up us with Yvette or whoever else. That pisses us off. So now when we say Garvey and we include you the same way we're included with Tariq Nasheed, you guys be all up in ears. Now, here's the thing.
Yo.
You just said pseudo this, pseudo that,
It
hidden color,
is, and you know it. Stop it,
but
bro.
you're chiming in though while I'm trying to give the answer.
Oh, all right.
So
Go
when
ahead.
we talk
Yeah.
about the history of Garvey, which is whatever issue you got with Tariq Nasheed and the hidden colors, Garvey is worse, 100 times worse than that. See, but here's now I mentioned you and Garvey because you guys don't want to admit that this dude was one of the worst scammers in Black American history.
Yeah. You first of all, you're gonna stop being you got me. You guys who, nigga? You gonna stop that? Don't
Okay,
frame me wrong. I
well,
said
do
I've
you
no.
know
Hold on.
that?
Listen. I've said I've never read a document by Garvey. Right. I only seen the nigga with the fake ass ships and getting and getting deported, nigga. I've never read any of that. So why am I you? How can I be you guy? On the other hand, the FBA, y'all raising your hand on it. Y'all
Look,
FBA?
you said y'all. You said FBA said y'all. So you include me
No, the
with those guys.
FBA is a group of people. So what? So at least you do belong to FBA. Okay? So you do belong to that.
Okay.
I'm saying I've never belonged to no Pan-African nothing. The best I could do was RBG, Revolutionary but Gangster. Nigga, I ain't never been nothing else more than that when I was doing that 20
So was
years ago.
RBG associated with Garvey, the red, black, and green?
No, nigga, it was Revolutionary. You hear the name. It's just hip hop. It's the hip hop shit.
No, but no, I asked you, was it?
I'm saying no.
Okay, so Marcus Garvey
not from what I know. And maybe you find more stuff. I'm saying for me and what I was doing, no.
Okay, but from the masses, wait, I got you. But do the masses associate?
Right.
Do the masses associate red, black, and green with Garvey?
No, they the
they don't
celebrate the red with the blood, the black.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying, with the people, and the green. You know what I'm saying, the red, black, and green. Red, hold on, red is the blood, black is the people, green is the land, yo.
Okay, so can we?
You could say that's with Pan-African. You could say that.
Cool. So can we admit this, Pan-African or whatever or not? Can we admit Marcus Garvey was a real man who came to the United States?
Man, the nigga never went to Africa, yo. I never understood a person trying to make everybody go to Africa, not going to Africa. So once I heard that, I would get out of here, bro. That ain't make no sense, yo. Just like it don't make no sense to holler about we indigenous black people was here first. Once I hear that, I'm off. Like, I'm not trying to hear that. And you come on, bro. You know where we come from, bro. Y'all gotta fix that, bro. And I'm saying y'all FBA.
There we go. Look. I can't say y'all to him. No. But FBA. Wait. Okay, but I don't speak. Well, first of all, you gotta know where you're at.
I'm an atheist.
I got it, but you gotta know where you're at.
I'm the real black atheist. I know where I'm at. I'm with the FBA.
No. Stop, because everybody here don't claim FBA, so you don't know where you're at. That's why I say you don't know where you.
So where am I at? The title say FBA channel.
Okay, look, you gotta listen, but you don't know where you're at though.
Where am I at?
Okay, so
where am I at?
We call it the lineage because we say we don't care what you call it. Everybody's trying to identify the lineage. Okay, that's all. We're trying to
identify. Everybody know who we are.
We're giving different names to the lineage. So no, we got people here that go by Freedmen. We got people here that go by ADOS. We got people who go by FBA, and we got people who go by a different term. Everybody don't say the same thing.
Yeah, that shit gonna boil down to the same thing though.
So when you say, but we still,
boil down to the same thing.
Okay, but the bottom line is that you're saying y'all as though we're a monolith.
I ain't say y'all no more. I'm gonna stop saying. I'm just gonna say FBA.
Cool. Well, how about just address me? That's all. Like I'm addressing you. I won't say y'all no more.
I'm addressing you. I'm saying you gotta fix that. Where's that show at?
What show?
Where's that show where you say she is producing pseudoscientific information, and part of that pseudoscientific information was the FBA, and so now you got time, yo, to get that right. Hold on, you got time to get that right.
These guys are so obsessed.
Fix that nigga right now.
You guys are so obsessed with Tariq Nasheed that like y'all wish.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Yes, y'all are. That's all you can talk.
I'm not right.
Talk about. The show's called Diaspora Wars.
But that's all we should talk about because he gives you the origin of it. He started it, yo.
Started what?
Make the nigga the he started. He started that shit.
You started what?
He started the FBA. He ain't started the FBA. Educate me then. If that man didn't rally people around to start the FBA, then you got me. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay, you got to stop talking. First of all, FBA came from ADOS. Is that right or wrong?
It came from Tariq breaking out of that.
Okay. Did FBA come from ADOS? Yes or no? Yes or no?
With Tariq. Yes, with Tariq.
Okay. With
so
Tariq.
We agree on that?
Okay. Yes. Now, didn't ADOS as an identity stem from Event and Tone Talks?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're doing a history check. Did African American as an identity, as a national identity for former Negroes, former colored people, did that stem from Jesse Jackson? Yes or no?
No. You made that up.
Okay. Now I'm going to cook you. Okay, you go and I'm going to.
You go
and I'm going to embarrass you. Go ahead.
That's not the conversation, bro. So
we're peeling back the onion.
Listen, y'all play that fake ass Jesse Jackson shit. As a matter of fact, I don't even mind Jesse Jackson. That's a great idea, but it doesn't start with Jesse Jackson. at all. And
I
if
did
Jesse
not say
Jackson
that. You
said
need
some
to
shit that
listen
was
to the
wild,
question.
okay,
Okay, you
you
got to
said you
hear the
gonna cook me.
question.
You yelled out
Okay,
cook.
yeah, right. I am.
Hey,
Listen,
you ain't
but
cook.
you got
I ain't
to.
in no restaurant to get cooked.
Okay, so you in one right now. Listen, you're in my kitchen. You're at the cookout. Now
You ain't
listen.
gonna cook me, bro. You know I come on, bro.
Okay,
Bro, this
cool.
me you talk to. This ain't happening like
Right.
that.
Well, we
That's
gonna
how you
see.
niggas gonna go.
But we got to exchange ideas. We'll see who get cooked.
Yeah.
One thing you're not gonna do is teach me nothing on this topic right here. I'm telling you right now.
But I
Now
ain't
you're gonna
trying
be a
to teach you
student.
nothing
Okay.
though. But I know you slipping away from that
Okay.
nigga and
So
that whole FBA
wait.
scam.
We just peeled the onion back to Jesse Jackson. Now let me
Nah, but you
correct you real
get
fast.
on that. Go get the document that
Okay.
say Jesse
Okay.
Jackson
Cool.
is the sole proprietor of the
Yeah, you
term
didn't even know the
African
question I
American.
asked you because you're too emotional.
I'm not emotional. I'm
I
not
said,
emotional.
listen
I
to the
think, hold
question.
on. You're
He
using the
still.
word emotional as a buzzword, bro. I'm
Okay.
not emotional on
All
this
right.
thing.
Well,
Stop it, bro.
you're very talkative and you won't
Right.
listen to the
Thank you. I
question I
like
asked
that.
you.
I like that.
Okay.
Go
So
ahead.
the question was this. I said was Jesse Jackson, listen to the question. Was
Okay.
Jesse Jackson responsible for African American being a national identity to people that was formerly called at that point who was called colored and Negro and black? That's
Afro. We was
no,
Afro American. Come
okay.
on, get it right.
Okay, watch
Get
this.
it right.
What percent? You're not listening again.
I
I
heard you,
said,
but I'm saying get it right for you saying. Shit. Afro American. Remember, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. The Afro
chat,
Nope.
he's not listening. When I
I'm
say
listening.
national, when I say Afro American, bro, nobody called themselves that. That wasn't a national identity for people. That was on the list of suggestions. You had a lot of things as a suggestion, but that's not
So
what people
you
call
so
themselves.
you're essentially saying did he start the movement? Did he start the movement towards being African Americans and Black Americans? Did he is he the guy who talked about it and everybody else rallied around him? Is that what you're trying to say?
That's what
Because
I
the shit
know,
was already pre-existing. There's people that use that term already, so we're not gonna act
bro.
like he created that.
Okay,
And so I do not have a problem with Jesse
I
Jack.
didn't say
Listen,
create. I didn't say create. See,
okay,
you're losing it right
you
now.
said garner the movement. Losing what,
No,
bro?
I didn't say the movement at all. You said
No,
movement. I
hold
said,
on,
is he
losing. Hold on, losing
responsible
what?
for
Wait,
making
losing
that?
what? Losing what?
You're losing the point.
Oh, okay.
I said you didn't listen. I said just like Tariq Nasheed and Yvette is responsible for
Two
trying to
separate, two separate
right.
things there, bro.
No, but it's okay.
I'm not gonna let you blend that. So I agree with everything you said with Jesse Jackson. Now let me tell you how that's not the same as Tariq. Tariq,
Okay.
Tariq put together a whole concept that was not in existence, and he put it together based off of wild information. Is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying no more than that. And I'm saying since you 5 years into it, you personally can fix that. That's all I'm saying, bro. So I'm agreeing to Jesse Jackson. So you got to agree that Tariq the Seed broke away from ADOS and taught Claude Anderson. He get the shit from Claude Anderson, who was out of his mind, back crazy, pseudo history, right? Craziness. And I'm saying it come out of that, bro. We're not doing this. So I'm saying is I don't mind the FBA, but fix that history, get that shit right. That's all I'm saying, yo. Am I wrong in that?
Yeah.
I'm biased.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Well, we
Yeah.
fight that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we fight
Yeah.
that then. I
And I'm
got
gonna tell you now. You see how quiet I was when you went. Can you
I'm
be that
quiet
quiet
now.
when I
Mute
go?
out. I'm mute
Okay.
out. Because I got you
Okay.
on that, nigga.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna get off this point all day.
Okay, cool.
Get y'all
No,
popcorn.
actually we are. You ain't
No,
gonna
not.
dictate what we talk about because you're comfortable here and you're not even right. So now, if we're 43 million deep, if somebody in the chat, let me get a random name. If Keisha E, if Keisha E believe we came from Planet Risk, that's not my job to debunk that. We have the right to believe in Islam, Christianity. We could be part of the LGBTQIA plus community. We could be part of anything we want. You have that right. That's not my problem. Our thing is what we have in common and what we're doing, what we're fighting against, we're fighting to delineate, we're fighting to self-identify, and we are fighting for reparations. That's the main three. That's our fight. We fight for that. But if an individual have a unique perspective on life or a history that they believe in, that's not my job to correct that.
You scamming, yo. Yeah, you
Who?
definitely scamming. Yeah, you scamming right now on that one. On that point right there, that's the scam. You
Now
gotta stop, yo.
your
He's the
leader, Marcus
progenitor.
Garvey, is the biggest scammer in
Okay, well,
American history.
look, I'm not even mad no more when you say the Marcus Garvey shit, because I think everybody clearly heard you. I barely know about a fucking Marcus
You don't know
Garvey.
about your leader?
Right? No, I know more about Malachi York than Marcus Garvey. How about that, my nigga? Yeah, I said it.
So what?
Yeah,
So was
I said
Marcus
that.
Garvey a
Right.
Pan-Africanist?
I don't know. I don't know what he was. What I
Wait,
do know,
are you a Pan-Africanist? Just for the
never
record.
was, never have been. Won't find a video have me saying it, and I got thousands of videos. See, my shit is for the last 20 years, so it ain't hard. Yeah, go Google that shit. Me running around howling that. Yeah, RBG, nigga, revolutionary but gangster. Right.
What
Yeah,
is that?
man, revolutionary but gangster, some hip hop shit. Come on, yo, come on, man. RBG, man, come on, yo. Come on, Dead President. You know I fuck with Dead President. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Don't make me get stick man on this motherfucker, yo. Don't make me go get the niggas. You know, I go get the remember, I'm that go get that nigga. Remember? I'm
Yeah,
gonna
well,
get that nigga.
they ain't gonna do good, man. They
Yeah,
ain't gonna do
nah,
good.
no, I'm saying we talk about RBG, yo. It ain't that. It was niggas trying to actually break away from all that silly shit, bro. It's a
Okay,
younger generation. It was
so
a younger
what is
generation.
RBG main? Okay, so what is RBG main goal?
Revolutionary, but gangster. RBG.
And what are they promoting?
They promoting being revolutionary, meaning going against the struggle of oppressed peoples in America, or African Americans, Black Americans, whatever the hell you want to say, right? Being oppressed and going against the oppressive system by bringing out correct information on that's RBG. And through hip hop and music. It's the first pinnacle through language and speech and artistry. You know what I'm saying? Keep you know what I mean? You listen to their music, right? That's what that was, bro. Come on, man. Yeah, remember I got the shoe company, RBG, red, black, and green. Yeah, I ain't never the Garvey nigga. I ain't the Garvey nigga, not me. Yeah, come on, bro. I ain't never that.
Yeah, but you ain't got to be the Garvey guy to talk about Garvey, though.
Yeah, but I don't. But I like to know about Garvey, so I don't get stuck. You know, I'll bring somebody to you that'll beat you at the death on Garvey, but I ain't the
Bring
Garvey
him.
guy.
Bring him. Wait, bring him.
I'm saying I'm not. You ain't gonna keep making me the Garvey guy when I ain't
No,
never.
no, sir. No, you just said you got somebody
Of
who can do that.
course,
Okay,
of
can you bring
course,
them? Can you
of
bring them?
course. I may.
Can they come right now? Okay, can they come later?
Nah, man. People do got businesses during the day.
Okay, so what time
Yeah,
are they free?
I don't know. But you
All
can't
right,
stop.
well,
Can't frame me in the Garvey network.
yeah, you set that up.
The hell with
Ain't
Garvey.
nobody representing Garvey gonna beat me on nothing.
Shit, you'd be surprised.
Okay, well, set that up. I'm here.
I know where you at.
That's it. And the whole chat, listen, that's an open invitation.
You got you.
I'm
I'm
here,
gonna set that up.
and I'm normally free in the mornings. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But okay, so back to trying to put you wanting to put, you refuse to put Tariq Nasheed as a person that codifies this thing called FBA. Because he repeatedly say I'm not the leader, I'm not the leader. Okay, bro. Okay, bro. But just for speaking, people that brought his movies and been following the guy and he built up and supported him, you know what I'm saying? Follow that. Follow that whole stance. Now, because we know this shit is faulty, instead of just fixing it and
What's
saying, no,
faulty?
he's not the
What's
leader. Hold on, bro. This all
you
you
know
gotta say. Let me finish.
we're not even clear what you're saying. You're saying FBA, you're saying movies. I'm trying to draw the connection.
I
What's the
said the
connection?
movies is how the nigga used to fund what he's doing. He produces
What?
movies. He produces movies. He
So the
produces.
movies,
No,
we're gonna fund
no. He the
what?
one to bring the rally together with his money, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Wait, what? So
I
okay,
tell you
so
what.
the
No, I
movies,
tell you what. No, hold on.
so the movies was a grand ploy, was a grand scheme to
No. It's part
promote
of his
FBA in
movement.
the future.
It's no, not at all. It's just part of his whole movement. When he broke away from ADOS,
Yeah, nah,
he
that's
called.
a fake connection. That's a pseudo
He
connection.
hold on. So you saying he didn't break away from ADOS?
What the movies got to do with ADOS and FBA?
I said he's a movie producer first.
Okay, right.
Okay, I know, nigga. I know the nigga. All right, movie producer first. He got popular due to Hidden Color movies, pseudoscientific. Do you agree that the Hidden Color movies were pseudoscientific? Let me ask you that. Yes or no? Since you always put me on the witness stand. Yes or no?
Pseudo scientific as far as what? You
Oh
believe?
man, I'm not going. I'm gonna leave you
Yeah.
alone. If you got to do that to me, this This me, yo. This you. I'm
Okay,
gonna get
so
off.
hold on. So hold
I don't
on.
want to ask that question. I'll tell
Okay,
you that.
wait. So hold on. What was Michelle Alexander on one of his hidden colors?
Nigga, I don't know. I don't know who that was. I don't know none of that.
Okay.
I know
She's the,
most
wait,
of them on there.
stop. Okay, stop. You got to stop. Okay, because you just said that's why I'm trying to try to get some clarification. You
No,
said the
no,
hidden
no.
colors were
Answer the question.
pseudo. Listen, the reason why I couldn't answer, I try to ask you a question. Like, do you
No, you
believe this?
asked me a question. I asked you a question. You asked me. You never answered my question.
Right. Because I don't
Right.
even
So
know what
why
you
not? So
mean.
I'm no longer
Because
answering
you didn't
questions from this point
clarify.
on.
Because you
Nope.
don't have
I
to,
am
but you
no
didn't
longer
I know.
answering you questions
Okay, I got it.
which
I
you
got it.
won't
But
answer
you
me
didn't
good.
clarify. Okay,
I'm
cool.
not
You didn't
clarifying
clarify.
anything because
You
that
just
means I'll
gave
have
a
to answer your
you just
question.
said a okay, got it. You just said a word that didn't have a complete definition. So I was trying to get a
I don't know
definition for
what
the
word
word.
that was. What word would
Okay.
that? I'm not. Nope. I'm not answering no questions until you answer my
I'm not,
questions.
I didn't ask you a
You
question.
said you okay. Well, I'm not responding to anything
Well, you don't
because
have to.
you
You
right.
asked a
Go ahead.
question and you gave you gave a word that
What
don't
word?
have a okay, you gave a word and I don't even know if I could define I don't even know how you define that word.
What word?
Okay, you said the hidden colors they were
Word
pseudo what? They were pseudo what?
was pseudoscientific and
Okay,
pseudo
so cool.
history.
All right,
I
okay,
said,
so
and
cool.
I
So now,
asked you, do
okay,
you agree? And then you
all
went
right.
around
So
the
you got to
roundabout.
slow down. Wait, you got to, bro.
I'm
You over
not
here just
slowing down because I asked
look.
you a
You're
question.
over here. Look, you're adding. Now, listen. This platform is usually chaos free. Now,
Right.
your thing,
Sorry.
y'all be over the place. All right. So we're trying to talk. We're trying to talk. You said pseudo history. So in my mind, when I heard pseudo history, I'm believing that there is no truth in the Hidden Colors series. That's what I'm believing.
No, you're not believing that because you've been around me long enough. We the pseudo killers, yo. And you know
Okay.
damn well the nigga can mix truth and falsehood together, bro. You know this.
So is that
Right.
what pseudo? All right. So I'm just
So you
and then
playing.
but I'm speaking to no. I'm speaking yeah. But it's not just you and I privately talking on the phone. There's a whole chat here. It's gonna be about 1,000 people watch this
Yeah.
totally. Maybe 3,000 4,000 people total. So I'm saying they don't know what you're talking about.
So they
So
need to look up the terms pseudoscientific and pseudo history
yeah,
then.
but
I asked
so
you
we got to
what's
look stuff up. Okay. So anyway, no. So I don't believe that. No, because he had
okay.
Michelle
All right. So there
Alexander on
you go.
there.
So now I know
Okay.
you
Oh,
asked. So guess what?
wait. Yeah, but
You
hold
said
on.
no,
Okay.
thank you. No,
All right.
now I won't answer your next question since you answered
Cool.
mine. You
Wait,
said
but I'm
no,
going to
thank you. So
elaborate.
go ahead.
Okay,
Go
I'm going to
ahead.
elaborate. No, because
You don't
Michelle
got
Alexander,
elaborate.
no, I do. You don't got to listen though. So, but Michelle Alexander was on one of the Hidden Colors, and she talked about mass incarceration, which she wrote a book about. I read front to back. I don't know what you did, but it was called Mass Incarceration during the color of blindness, the age of color and blindness. Okay,
Yeah.
so she exposed the war on drugs. She exposed the city police officer, the city police departments getting federal funds to target FBAs, who we call FBAs, Black Americans, specifically on drug wars, give white folks breaks. But anyway, that rolled in the mass incarceration wave that we know today. That's not pseudo history.
Okay, well, Dr. Mayat was on there, and she's not a pseudo. She's a pseudo killer. She's
All
a
right.
doctor, official, and
All
what
right.
she presented wasn't that. So that's not the point. The point
I don't know
is
the
that the
point.
overall document is a fucking
Okay, go.
pseudo-scientific history. And within pseudo-scientific history, you can have people that present good information, and you're supposed to know that.
All
Huh,
right.
but it's
Well,
classified. The reason it's classified because the majority of the information is.
okay.
That's
So now
why,
what they got
man.
to do with, okay, what they got to do with the term FBA though? I don't,
Oh,
that's the connection I'm
because
missing.
Tariq Nasheed is the one that popularized that. I don't know. Matter of fact, Claude Anderson, with his pseudoscientific history presenting self, yeah, I'm saying, put together the doctrine for it. Meaning he talked about what it was. I could play the videos. I could give
So
you play
do
the
you
videos.
disagree? Okay. So so
Yes,
you
that's
don't got to play,
wrong, bro.
wait, dude, you're just cutting in right now. You just talking, I'm
Go ahead,
quiet.
go ahead.
And I
Because
go in, you just cut me off.
no, I ain't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
So before Tariq even knew who Dr. Clark Anderson is, didn't Dr. Clark Anderson do the videos Powernomics back in 2001?
Yeah, that's economics. And that
Okay,
shit was all right until he tried
okay,
to get the history.
yeah,
Then he was
wait. Yeah,
pseudoscience.
well, of course he's not a historian. Like matter of
Okay,
fact,
so then
well,
shut the
wait,
hell up on
stop.
that shit.
Okay, look, you're doing it again, bro. First of all, Dr. Mayat is pseudo when it comes to history. Like she lied on some shit.
What? What are you
Okay,
talking
yeah,
about, man?
okay.
Man,
when she
listen,
went
bro.
to his
Man, you know what?
when she went to history
This is what we not look. This is what we not doing.
Okay, no, no,
Hold
no.
on, hold on, hold
When
on.
she
That's
hold
my
up,
friend. We not disrespecting
okay,
a legitimate
hold up.
doctor
Okay,
because you feel a
okay,
certain
you
way.
no, come back in
And
here.
I'm saying
Hold,
is you don't know none of
hold,
them niggas, but I'm saying that's my
talk,
friend.
okay,
And what we not doing is we not
okay,
disrespecting a person that's
okay,
done more for this fucking community than any of y'all niggas. This is what we not doing. We not
okay.
doing that.
Listen,
No, but we not doing that though.
you okay?
You loose.
Listen.
You too
Close,
loose
close
for
it,
me. I'm
close it,
not comfortable with you being loose
close it.
with a person who's my friend who I
Hey, come
personally
here.
seen build scientific literacy STEM. You call her pseudo. You made that up. That's
Okay.
all I'm saying, bro. You gotta take
She
that back. You
no, I'm
made that
not.
up.
No, I'm not.
You
She
made
said
that
some
up.
stuff about history that was false.
No, you made that up. No, she's just wrong. She would just be
Well,
wrong. She's not
the
a
same with
pseudo.
the same with Dr. Claude Anderson then, because you said he's
No,
not a
Claude Anderson, no, he's not. He's not, because the nigga
okay.
ain't did no research. You be wrong. He made the shit up, is what I'm
So
saying, bro.
he made what up?
He what that crazy ass shit up, following wild ass white people. This shit comes from wild ass white people.
What
So
comes
to
from
reap
white
the
people?
seed in this FBA greatness is following wild ass white people by Claude Anderson following wild ass wrong pseudoscientific white people, making that shit up with no
What do you,
scientific evidence to back it up. That's not
but
what
you
documented
but
ever would be.
you're not speaking on what they're making up from wild ass white people.
What you mean? Ain't no indigenous black people in no fucking America, yo. That's a wild ass claim and it's wrong.
Daddy? Yes. Okay, you're right. Yeah, I don't, bro. You got a personal conversation that you must have had with those folks that I'm not
Man,
privy
you
to.
can you can hear
Okay,
it on the video, bro. Like y'all can't
all
escape
right.
that.
So
But I'm
okay,
saying,
so
but we're
cool.
not doing the Dr. Mayat thing, yo. She's a real doctor. Deanne Bailey.
Yeah, now she's a
She's a
real
real
doctor. So is Dr.
professor.
Clark Anderson.
She's
But
what?
so is
Not
Dr.
nah,
Clark
but
Anderson.
she ain't teaching no motherfucking she ain't claiming to start a whole movement, FBA and the founders. She ain't speaking that.
That ain't a
What you
movement.
talking about, bro?
Yeah,
You just
nobody's
said
playing the
that.
whole movement. Nah. All
Man,
right. So anyway,
the foundation of FBA, yo, is the ethnogenesis between indigenous black people, enslaved Africans, and Native Americans, bro. Is that not what that is? Or am I
hey,
tripping?
bro, you're tripping,
Oh,
and
okay. All right.
you,
All right. All right.
you're tripping,
All right.
and
Now
you're
I'm
out
tripping.
of
So that ain't what
control.
it is.
It's time
Everybody
to
in the
do that.
chat talk to me. That ain't what it is. Ain't
Yeah,
no
you need to.
ethnogenesis.
Yeah, look. You are out of control.
I've spoke
When you
because you
talk, I'm
because you
quiet. I let you go.
all right, go
When I
ahead.
talk, you keep saying go ahead, and you cut right back in
No,
there.
I didn't do you like that.
Okay.
You said something about a lady who has done more for community than these niggas. Real shit. We ain't talking about a fake movie. We talking about real STEM camps with real African Americans or FBA, because she accepts everything. She even considers herself FBA, can come to the STEM camps, get free computers, free lunch, free food, and learn about and get grounded in STEM. That's what's going on over here, bro. So I refuse for anybody to call that pseudoscientific. I'm the pseudoscientific nigga who brought that to the community. Niggas wasn't even talking about that. And Guy saying Gozy popularized the word pseudoscience. He the first nigga to call somebody pseudoscience. That was fucking Clyde Winters. Come on, yo. I popularized the word pseudoscience. Come on, bro. So we never doing that. I done broke up with niggas who went by way of pseudoscientific, bro. Come on, yo. Nah, yo, that's wild.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want
All
to get
right.
it off my chest.
All right. So just going backwards. So FBA is an attempt. I don't care what you're talking about. This fake connection with Hidden Colors. FBA is first of all, FBA was another attempt to identify the lineage. Okay, so it was first Adolf. Adolf was there. Tariq Nasheed disagreed with some things Yvette Carnell, Tone Talk was doing. So he thought the term Adolf, he thought it was becoming more inclusive. It wasn't all exclusive like he thought it was. This is his personal opinion about what's going on with Adolf. So he came up with FBA as a result. He said foundational, that term itself is the epitome of exclusivity when it comes to lineage or ethnic identity. But FBA, ADOS, African American, Black, Negro, and Colored, and you could throw in Afro American. These were all terms that were supposedly to be exclusive to identify people who went through a slave experience in this country only. Okay, so when we think the term is being inclusive, then of course we're gonna come up with a new term that's all
No,
inclusive.
you left out the indigenous black people. I'm not gonna let you do
Nah,
that.
okay.
We're
So
not
hold
gonna do
on.
that.
Okay, he cuts back in again.
Yeah,
All
we're not
right,
gonna do that.
all
You
right.
left
So
out
so
a key
now,
ingredient.
so now African American. Jesse Jackson brought that to the table. What you're talking about in the 1800s, there's a handful of people. This is Chat GPTable. This is Googleable. There was a handful of people, 0.000% of the population in America who called themselves African American. There was like one or two newspapers. There was one church. There was one nothing. Everybody preferred the terminology colored and Negro. That's it. That's it. Not African American. That was a foreign term to people who were enslaved and formerly enslaved. They proudly took on the terminology colored and Negro. They all seen the term Africa as a foreigner. And that's why they fought for citizenship during the Civil War because they wanted to be citizens where they were non-deportable. At that time, they were forced migrating or deporting free blacks to Liberia. That was not our thing. We felt like we fought for this country. We built this country. We're American like anybody else, and we wanted to stay here. As a matter of fact, a lot of those guys who freely left America because of the lack of citizenship came back when they could fight for citizenship. So when they went to Africa, the Paul Cuffs, the Alexander Cromwells, the Martin Delaney's, all those guys, when they left and found out they could fight for citizenship, they all came back and died as Black Americans. They didn't die as Africans. They came back here and died as Black Americans. So that term. So my point is, our ancestor dodged the term African because
So
they
what?
seen it.
So
They
what?
seen it as a foreigner term. They seen it
Fine.
as non-American.
Fine. Not an issue, but it was a handful of people. Wasn't no fucking handful of people that started FBA. It was Tariq Nasheed. He's not a handful of people. You ain't even heard about the shit until he said it. That's my whole point. So we go from a handful of people and people being and Africans, because that's what they was when they came to America, right? It was Africans from different ethnic identities in West and Central Africa. You know what I'm saying? Was not educated on where the fuck they came from. They had to carry that shit on through their folklore that they had to create on them slave ships in Africa. They wouldn't even have known this shit. Okay, motherfucker ain't telling where they was going at. And so at least it was a handful of them. Tariq Nasheed ain't a handful of nothing, it's him. And I'm saying the foundation of it came from Claude Anderson with pseudo-scientific history. That's all I'm saying, bro. Come on, bro. This ain't complicated. And we can rest right there and move forward in the process.
That's actually wrong.
Okay, whatever, yo. So what's the whole group of people? Okay. What's the handful of people that was talking FBA, yo, before this nigga? Go ahead, yo.
I got it.
You got me where you want me at.
So I just showed a video. I'm gonna hook you up. 1989. All right, you got a Nation of Islam member who was debating
Islam.
Okay, so he cuts in right away. You said Tariq is not a handful; he's an individual. So now I'm giving you a handful.
Go ahead, play the video. Go ahead.
Cool.
What it say? Go ahead. I'm right here.
I got you. So now he said Tariq's a individual. He's not a handful. Well, the Nation of Islam is a handful. So now I'm giving you a handful. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of members.
All right, go ahead. 100,000 members consider themselves FBAO or am I tripping?
Okay, so what does FBA stand for?
You said Foundational Black Americans.
Okay, so when Nation of Islam say Black American, that's not that.
Oh man,
that's
you scamming, y'all.
Okay,
going, man. You know, I ain't going for that. If anybody in the chat going for that, y'all just got
family.
Your
family. He just said,
real estate got
here you go talking again. Now he just went on like, family. I told y'all guys, I know how to compose myself in conversation. I said they can't.
Man, we compose over
here.
Y'all
he's out of control.
All right,
okay,
man.
so the Nation of Islam says listen, here you go. The Nation of Islam says Black American. Tariq says foundational Black American. He's acting like that's a whole different word. He's acting those words are different. He just put a foundational in front. He can't stop. He just put a foundational in front of Black American, and he's acting like this is something. Foundational makes it a whole brand new term. Bro, they're Black Americans. Tariq just added the emphasis that we're foundational to this country. We're not just any old Black American, but we built the country. That's all. That's all foundational mean. But that's not far from Black Americans. He acting like
no cigar though.
Okay. So anyway,
Close for no cigar.
so anyway,
Trying to get the cigar, bro.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we
So,
trying to get it. It's close.
well,
No
so
cigar.
let me ask you.
Hold on, we was already Black Americans though, yo.
Wait, so let me ask you.
You know
Are
that,
your
but
answers?
you know that you know that African American is synonymous with Black American.
No, it's not.
So
No, it's not.
hold on,
No, it's not.
hold on. Listen to what I'm saying.
No, it's not.
Hold on. Now you cutting in. See, you out of control.
You asked me a question.
You
I
being
said no.
emotional.
He just
I
asked
didn't
a
ask you. It was
question.
a non-rhetorical question. I didn't.
Oh
I
shit!
said,
How
you
am I know that? And I said no.
You know that Black American is synonymous with African American.
It's
That's what
not.
I said. Okay, and I'm saying it is. Just like Africa is not synonymous with Black Africa. Okay, that's not. But Black American is synonymous with African American. Go look that
No,
up
it's
with
not.
your
No,
little
it's not.
Google trigger, with your little Google GPT fingers. Do that. It is.
No,
So
it's
you're
not.
wrong. So listen what I'm saying. So
No, it's
based
not.
off what you just said about Black Americans, then African Americans would be synonymous with FBA then, bro. You just said it. You said the FBA and Black Americans is the same. Bet. I'm accepting that. Then if that's the point, then FBA, just like Black Americans, is synonymous with African Americans. So then we in this together then, bro. That's what we at.
That made no sense.
How does it? Okay, I know it don't. I'm going to say it slow. This man just said.
So you can say it 3 times like Umar. It's still wrong.
I want to get it because you're a guy that can understand stuff. You said you played a video of the Nation of Islam saying that we was Black Americans.
But you don't know what the video's about. I was saying that the debate was, are we African American or Black American? And he was debating we're Black American, we're not African, nothing.
Okay, but then that guy was an idiot because African American is synonymous with Black Americans.
Nah.
See, he's an idiot. Right. So since we recognize him as being an idiot, because anybody can look this up. Anybody in that chat, if you got heart and feel mighty, look this shit up. You know, that's what Christians do. That's what Muslims who trying to learn.
Your argument was, so now he's an idiot, but your argument was it wasn't a handful, just Tariq. Now I'm showing a handful. I debunked that, and now he's an idiot.
Since you said that, since you said the foundational Black Americans is the same as Black Americans, right?
Right. You just add
okay,
foundational
hold on. You're saying
which
that.
Is true.
And that's why, okay, bet if you're saying it's true, then I'm now adding to the equation. I'm saying, but did you know that Black American was synonymous with African Americans? And you said
no, it's not.
And you said no. And I'm saying you're just wrong, right? You're wrong. And you can look it up like we always do. You'll come back on this line and say, you know what? I was wrong. And I'm saying that Black American is the same as foundational Black American, then they would both have to be synonymous with African American. That's what I said.
That's a horrible connection of dots.
That's fine. That's fine. Only because you think that Black Americans is not synonymous with African Americans. But once that changes, because you're going to look it up, right? Because you want to give people the right information.
Already been
once
there, done
that changes, what?
All right. See the thing
go
is,
read it. No, read it. If you look it up, read that. Ask ChatGPT is Black American synonymous with African American. Go ahead,
bro. Listen, I'm gonna talk like you just did. Okay, you didn't read anything.
You're not gonna
now look. So, how can it be synonymous when African American came later?
Man, it don't gotta be. It's just the term itself, a synonymous, bro.
Okay, so hold on.
The word synonymous. Yo, look that up.
Hold on. So Jesse Jackson attempted to make African American synonymous. So yes, when you go to fill out a form, it's going to have Black there with African American. So yes, so on forms, they are synonymous, but not when it comes to your ethnicity. When you're calling yourself something, for example.
So now this is why. Hold on, what you reading? Okay. What you reading? Yo?
He cuts in again.
For example, are you reading something?
Okay,
come on, yo, don't
listen. Let me ask you a question. When Jamaicans come here,
you're reading something. That's
okay.
all.
When Jamaicans come here,
no, you're not reading something. You're making this shit up. Go ahead.
So when Jamaicans come here, or African Nigerians, and they become first gen, are they Jamaican Americans or are they Black Americans, or both?
Well, I don't even know what you're talking about, bro.
Okay, so rewind.
Yeah, I don't know the hell you're talking about.
Okay, so let me rewind. Let's say Nigerian. if a Nigerian immigrates to America and they have they anchor a baby here, and that baby is first gen, is that baby identity, is it Black American or Nigerian American or both?
No, a Nigerian American is not synonymous with an African American.
I didn't say anything was synonymous.
Oh,
I'm
no, it's not
asking
the same. It's not the same.
I didn't ask you. Okay, listen.
Is that the question?
No. Oh, okay. See, you're not even listening.
Oh, yeah, I might forget because you're trying to flim-flam your way through it.
Nah, you just intimidated by the question. It's a simple question.
No, you're trying to flim.
Okay.
What's the question?
A Nigerian immigrates here. He's from Nigeria. He's not born in America, so he don't have American citizenship. He has a baby here. The baby's anchored. The baby has 14th Amendment
They're going to say
citizenship
he's
rights.
African American. We know
Now,
that.
listen, I'm asking you. Oh my God. I just said, is the baby, the ethnicity, is the baby Nigerian American, Black American, or both?
They're going to say but if you're a generation in, since you're born in America, they can classify you as an African American.
Would he be also classified as a Nigerian American?
I don't know that answer. I think you could say that, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so if you think okay, okay, I got you. You gotta be quiet then.
All right.
So let's play hypothetical. So if he's
you're doing too much to explain this, right?
Look, this guy just won't stop.
I'm just saying it's too much.
I know you're handcuffed. Okay.
I'm not handcuffed.
So you just said you don't know that. Okay.
Right. Go ahead. I don't know what this got to do with the synonymous with.
You gotta stop so you can understand.
I want to keep the audience abreast of what the hell we talking about.
But you can't
long
even
ass
stop.
road, but go ahead.
That was long. That was short as hell. So if he's African American and he's also called Nigerian American, are you saying Nigerian American and African American synonymous?
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm not saying
I'm
that.
done, yo. I'm done.
I know that's not
I'm
true.
done.
No,
so how can he?
But I know that's not true.
That's your argument for Black American and African American, though.
Nah, you just flim-flammed everybody.
That's your argument.
Let's go back over this again. So a Nigerian American is not synonymous with African American. It is not, right? They're two ethnic groups. One come directly from Ghana or Ghanaian, whatever the hell, and one resided in America based off the slave trade. Then the one that's born in America, okay, you can call him an African American, but he's not tied to the ancestry that was brought over here directly. He's actually tied to the ancestry that came over here after the daggone slave trade, bro.
But is he also
I'm
called
saying
Ghanaian
anybody
American?
can figure that out. That's not hard. Listen to what I'm saying. So I'm saying that's not hard. Just like we just figured that out. White people is not giving y'all niggas no money without that easy thing being fixed, bro. They can look back in the census and tell when your family came over. You talking when I'm talking? Can I talk?
Wait.
You don't all nothing has to wait.
So you want to preach? So I can't ask that question.
On being quiet.
Okay.
You just pride yourself on being. You doing the same thing that I did.
No, I did not.
You did. You cut me off in the middle of me.
I was asking. I ain't cut you off. I was asking the questions. What you said.
You asked the question the minute me explained.
Wait, you're talking about reparations now. We were talking
about called derailing.
Yeah, but you went to something. You're talking about reparations.
I actually didn't. I'm talking about the explanation of a Ghanaian American from Ghana.
So right, I asked a question about
an African American, and I'm saying, although he's called an African American, when it comes time for reparations, you can figure out that his family came to America. You talking while I'm talking?
Not reparations. You're going. I'm asking you, is he?
I ain't saying it though. I'm trying to make the.
Is he also called a Ghanaian American? That's what I'm asking you, man.
And I told you I don't know, and I think you read something that said you could. And if that's so, that you can be two things at one time, that's fine.
So are they synonymous?
No, it's not.
Oh shit!
That's what I said.
I'm done. All right, good. Finish.
It's not synonymous, yo, because you wouldn't listen. You wouldn't just automatically call a Ghanaian American an African American, bro. See, this is the game you playing. You got the right one for this show. You would not automatically call a Ghanaian American an African American unless he had children in America. Then you would call him African American, but it still would not be synonymous. Do you not get that? First of all, you ain't even looked up that African American was synonymous with Black American. Why don't you do that for the listener? Oh, that would be nice to do.
Okay, let me ask you this.
How long we been on this? I've been on this too long, man. I like to come over here and mix it up with you. It's fun.
All right, now you saying some things. I'm just questioning what you're saying.
All right, yo, I can't go. I can't talk to you all day long.
Let me ask you this.
What?
So here's a last question to that.
All right, go ahead.
So that Ghanaian American, that Ghanaian person who immigrated here, right? And he's filling out forms here. will he fill out he's Ghanaian American? He had no kids yet. Will
Yeah,
he fill out
I'm
he's
scamming.
Canadian, or will he fill out he's Black American?
He gonna do the thing for the benefits, yo. Like everybody trying to
No,
hustle, dog.
that was not the question. That was not the
But I'm
question.
saying, but that's what they're
No,
gonna do. Like,
right,
wouldn't
right.
you, yo? Like, don't nobody
Can
care
you
about
look?
colonialism?
We can go. Look, I'm just asking the
I'm saying
question.
they're gonna do the thing that benefit them the
But
most. So
what's
they
the question? But what's
supposed
the
to.
question? What's the question?
You were saying, are they gonna fill out Ghanaian American or African American? I'm saying, if
Right.
it was me, nigga, I'ma lie because these niggas cheating anyway. It's cops and robbers, bro. So if I was them, I would lie and get all the benefits possible. Hell, it ain't our money. Anyway, I enjoyed the conversation with you, yo. We always have fun, yo. I'm gonna get somebody on here that's versed in Garvey, and we're gonna have some fun on that, yo. And big up to the FBAs. Big up to y'all. Appreciate all the FBAs. I'm saying y'all just gotta fix that little piece right there. And no, absolutely not. Right? They're quote unquote, no, absolutely for certain African American is synonymous with Black American, bro. You gotta fix that part. You gotta fix that part. And Tariq Nasheed, who is not your leader, all right, he got to fix that ethnogenesis of indigenous Black people here before anybody else. That's crazy. Did you agree? I can't believe you agreed to that, bro. Hello?
Oh, my mic went out. I said we see Garvey as the leader of the RBGs as well. We see the red, black, and
Oh,
green
okay. Well,
stemming
okay,
from
bet.
Garvey.
I'm not even mad. I don't know that. That shit crazy. How about that? I could be wrong. Nigga wasn't my leader with the funny hat. Was the cult leader to me. So I don't know what to tell you. That nigga fucked up the Pan-African shit. You ask me? Shit,
So
I already
wait.
said
So
it amongst doctors. So that's not a big deal. I'm a
wait.
Hubert Harrison guy.
Okay. So what was Hubert Harrison views on Garvey?
I ain't like him. He felt like he took his people.
He felt like
Right?
he felt like he was scamming, right?
Yeah, I feel like he took his people. I don't know about that. I
Yeah.
didn't read
No.
that.
Yeah. No. That's okay.
Yeah,
You
he
got to
felt
read
like
that then.
he felt like this shit wasn't put together right.
No.
You
No.
know what I
No.
mean?
No. He had stronger feelings. He felt like he was scamming.
Yeah. So I'm supporting Hubert Harrison, Black Socrates, the atheist, part of the Harlem Renaissance, one of the greatest speakers on the soapbox. Had thousands of people in Harlem. I said thousands of people watching him talk on the soapbox in Harlem. He was fluent in Greek. He was fluent in Hebrew. He understood his history. He taught Charles Darwin at a time period when nobody was talking about Charles Darwin. Yeah, he's one of the great Black speakers, intellectuals of that time that y'all may ever know. He was so serious they called him the Black Socrates. Yeah,
So
he
look.
wrote the newspaper for Garvey. But go ahead.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. Like that's why I was trying to like correct you there. He had firsthand information that Garvey was scamming. That's why I say he's seen Garvey as a scammer, and he felt like he was manipulating Black Americans. He was not like doing them any good. He was doing them wrong. And then when Garvey met with the KKK, that's what really did him in, and that's what started the whole Garvey Must Go campaign. But outside of that. Okay, so forget about that because you're not a Garveyite. So
That
I'll
shit
wait till your man
crazy,
come
yo.
on.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
But let me ask you this though.
What?
So you're not a Pan-Africanist, but do you agree with Pan-Africanism?
Some parts of it. Some parts. I
Okay.
think there always had. Well. I think I said it on the show. And my point was this, yo. I want to be able to pick and choose my allies. Just because you're an African country,
Yeah, I agree
don't
with that.
mean that you my damn allies as an African American or FBA. It doesn't mean that. You got to have our best interests in hand. That's what I'm saying.
Do you believe? Because there's two arguments on where Pan-Africanism originated from. Do you believe it originated in West Indies in the 1900 conference in Trinidad, or do you believe it was in America?
I thought it was at the conference where W.E. Du Bois wrote that letter, wrote the first
So
document. That's what I thought it was. I'm not a scholar on that or pretend to be close to it. But I thought it was that. I thought it was the
okay,
thing that
so now
W.E. Du Bois wrote.
how would Martin Delany be called the father of Pan-Africanism when he's in the 50s, 1840s?
I'm not
Like
sure,
he
bro.
predicted all that stuff. So,
Yeah, I'm not sure, bro. They don't get me. That's why I'm gonna bring somebody that knows all this. It'll be a good conversation for
I
you.
guarantee they ain't gonna know what I know with Pan-Africanism and
Yeah,
all
but
this
you
stuff. I
asked me a
guarantee you.
question. You said
No,
about
not you,
do I
not
think
you.
it's
I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you.
no. You
I'm just
asked
saying.
me, do I think it's relevant now or something to that nature?
No, I just asked you, do you agree with it?
Oh, I mean, shit. I think it was a model that helped African Americans or FBA back in those days. I thought it
How?
helped them unify because it just helped them think different and unify around some things.
When?
I think it was kind of lofty. No. I think it might have been lofty, but it was a good idea for
Wait,
that
what time frame was this? No, yeah, but what time frame are you talking about?
When you start hearing the words murmured. And those time periods, they thought that African people should come together. And the diaspora.
No, they didn't.
In Africa. Well, I
no,
thought it was.
No, Booker T. Washington never thought that. Look, Booker T. Washington never thought that. In spite of what the lady said on the panel, he never taught that. Frederick Douglass never taught that. No, like everybody.
Do you know who that lady was in the panel, though?
Yes, I do know
that lady was in the panel, right?
I want to talk to her too. Okay.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you gotta figure out a better.
All you gotta do is just all you gotta do. I got you. All you gotta do is invite them on. I'm giving an open invitation for anybody who supports Pan-Africanism and definitely supports Marcus Garvey. I want them over here, bro. I've been in people.
No, what we do. This we'll do. Hmm? Next time we do that, I'll make sure you're invited.
No.
Okay, but that's not gonna happen. Them doctors ain't doing
they are okay. Then they gotta get off the high horse. Then I ain't coming over there. They're coming over here.
Sometimes it's great to be. If you're on Mount Olympus, you're on Mount Olympus.
Yeah. Now I've been on everybody's platform though. I've been on everybody's platform.
You ain't been on certain platforms.
Okay, but listen.
You have not been on everybody's platform.
Okay, I got you. But I'm the new.
You gotta get your weight up. There's a rule called "Get your weight up," though, yo.
Okay.
Like I have not been on every platform because my way.
Listen.
Like we're not gonna act like that's real. But go ahead.
Listen, if they want a lot of people to listen and tune in, it's going to be this channel. Then it ain't gonna be their channel. I see the numbers, and my numbers are sky high than most people's numbers. So if they want it to be a conversation where people,
now you making up. You're just saying anything. You're saying it. You're done good though with the FBA. I'm gonna give you that.
Huh? Bro, we got like 150 people right now watching. I'm kind of confused.
200 people watching documentary show, yo. So what we saying?
Hey, bro, but I got 1,800 subscribers. She got 12,000.
Okay, so that means
we shouldn't be close.
That's not true. You got the new FBA. Motherfuckers trying to figure that out.
Yeah,
matter of fact.
I'm kind of confused. I got 1,800 subscribers here.
I'm not
confused. And I'm already, yeah. Now my numbers is definitely better than most people.
It's called the art of the conversation, yo.
Okay. Yeah, but like I said,
conversation better, yo.
We send invitations and we accept them. People just send them, they don't accept them. So we're trying to switch that narrative. We're inviting people over here.
Get better.
As well.
Don't try to get them like you try to. You ain't get me.
I didn't even. Yeah, you brought that energy. I'll just try to have a conversation.
No, you brought that. I didn't bring no energy. Okay. I match your energy.
Yeah. Did you read the chat, bro?
No, for what? I don't need to read the chat. I stay out the chat because they say anything. It's called chatty in the patio. They will never hit the button. They will never hit the motherfucker. I ain't listening to mine in the chat. That's the rule never to do. Never listen to the chat because they talking shit. It could be somebody in a long off distant star somewhere hiding, just talking shit. That don't mean nothing to chat. You listen to the chat?
Yes.
Shit. Okay, well,
because the chat normally agrees with me though. Because I don't be lying. I ain't got no narrative.
Stay out the chat, yo. Nigga in the chat will support you. You be wrong as a motherfucker. The chat don't count.
Nah. Yeah, I be in your chat. I be in everybody's chat because I usually don't say anything crazy.
Chat don't count.
Yeah, I don't say anything crazy.
No, I'm saying a person in the chat could be anybody. Gaslighting, bait, rage, baiting, all kind of shit occurs in the chat, yo.
Right. That's toxic chats.
Nah, man. No, people in the chat can be toxic. So I don't know. So what was your reason behind did I hear the chat? Did I read the chat?
No, because you said you gave a personal assessment about yourself. You said you believe you were composed and you didn't come with the energy. And the chat was like, nah, you were like an unstable atom. You know, you
okay,
was
but that's fine.
Isotope.
But okay, that's because they don't know what it means. You know each other. That's how we talk to each other. This ain't no big deal. Shit, tell them the truth. If they get the truth, yo, then they, okay, that's how them niggas do it. That's how we do it. I know when to stop. Let you talk.
Okay, so last thing.
So tell them to hit the button, though. If y'all got a problem with anything I say, if y'all think that African American is not synonymous with Black American, get up on the stage and prove your point. Because you didn't unbiased. Maybe somebody else listening to you can do it. Go ahead.
Oh, so let me just say this. Just back to you.
What?
So no. Are you familiar with A. Philip Randolph?
I heard of them, but go ahead. What they got to do with it? I
Okay.
just said, but go ahead.
Okay. No,
You
because
gonna call me up, man? I'm gonna call your ass up, yo, and we gonna get this straight. This
okay,
point about
because
being
we're just
synonymous.
walking backwards.
All right, go
It's
ahead.
because you said Pan-Africanism helped us out. No, the hell it didn't.
I didn't say that. I said I'm pretty sure it inspired some people, bro. It did.
No, it didn't.
Hell, and I ain't
No,
doing that.
it
Come on,
didn't.
yo. You can't absolutes, bro. I'm not doing nothing in absolutes, yo. Okay, bro.
No, I'm saying who's absolute? I'm saying
You
the
speaking absolute, you said it didn't.
consensus,
I'm saying it did.
the
I'm saying I'm
masses.
sure it
No,
did.
I'm saying, well, I'm going by names. Like people who are very instrumental in the civil rights movement were not inspired by no damn Pan-Africanism. And I give you A. Philip Randolph.
Oh, okay. All right. You're right. Go ahead.
Yeah, A. Philip Randolph is the old. He's called the father of the civil rights movement. Okay, he's the one that mentored King, and that was his idea to go march on Washington. And he was fighting for the labor rights with the Italians, the union rights, child labor. Yeah, like nah, his resume is crazy when it comes to civil rights activists and activisms. Yeah, but he was the furthest from Pan-Africans. But a lot of our leaders were, even Booker T. Washington, but they were immigration restrictions. They didn't believe in
So
immigration.
what the lady said, she said Booker T. Washington was a Pan-African. She said that, didn't she?
I'm saying she made that up.
And I'm saying she'll beat the brakes off you, yo. You get the
I'm
just like I
saying
got the brakes beat off me. You get the brakes. I'm gonna let Chilembe come up.
I'm
No,
saying
listen.
send her over.
No, I'm gonna send Chilembe over there.
Yeah. Hey,
And you ain't read the book. See, that's always a mistake. When
brother.
YouTubers talk shit about something they ain't even read, or at least put the book through
I
chat.
believe.
You believe now.
When she said Booker T. Washington was a Pan-Africanist, in my mind, this is coming from a Pan-Africanist who's looking back at history, rewriting history, and just calling people Pan-Africanists.
Saying
Yeah,
she's a revisionist.
and a
Okay. All right.
romanticizer or a role womanizer, role womanizer. Yeah, role womanizer. I'm saying she
So
is.
me and you will do dual stream. How about that?
You could do that.
We'll do that.
You can do that.
All
Yeah,
right,
I just
we'll
want to
do
have the
that.
conversation for the record. Like, I'm trying to lay Pan-Africanism the rest
Listen,
once and for
Limbe.
all.
Yeah, I'm like, you can't, yo. You're gonna get beat up, yo. You're overextending yourself.
What do you?
You like
How do you feel about
Adolf Hitler, yo? Adolf Hitler overextended himself. That's why
how you feel about Baba Smalls?
He down with the program STEM and scientific literacy, yo. I'm not gonna speak of that man's name, yo, because
Okay.
when I see him, hold on.
Now I'm not saying you guys say something wrong. I just asked you how you feel about him.
I'm saying I see a lot of growth in him, as there has been a lot of growth in me, and some of the old ideas he may have had. Right, I don't hear him promoting that. But when I'm dealing with him on a Zoom, he's buttoned up. We talking about the school is buttoned up and it's proper. That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay, so how you feel about him?
His own personal beliefs.
Yeah,
right?
like Tariq Nasheed. Yeah,
His personal
okay.
belief.
Okay, so now
no, Tariq Nasheed actually comes off as if he has a
how do you feel about
on the ethnogenesis of African Americans, bro?
Okay, so how do you feel about
FBA? He has a scholarly position.
I got you. So how do you feel about Baba Smalls saying he's an FBA Pan-Africanist? How you feel about that?
Smalls? Oh, my man. Oh, the elder Smalls.
Yeah.
He's wrong. He's wrong about you mean saying he's an FBA or saying he say he's Native American or some crazy shit. I think that's his right.
No, he called himself FBA. No, he said he's an FBA Pan-Africanist.
I support his belief. He's a belief. I support that. I support you saying you FBA. You know my issue with FBA. Y'all won't stand up and say Tariq got this part wrong. We're going to erase the indigenous black people. We're just going to say
that has nothing to do with
Europeans, Native Americans, and enslaved Africans. And then I will agree to that. Until y'all stick right there, yo. I'm not trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear it, bro.
Yeah, that has nothing. Tariq, like you said, Baba Small got personal views. Tariq, now she's entitled to his. Yvette,
why can't you just understand you cannot separate? He started a whole movement. So
yes, you can.
He ain't start the movement? Hold on.
Nah, he ain't started no movement. No.
So you trying to say that Tariq Nasheed, yo, one of the person that paid for the rally? Do we pay for the rallies, yo?
You said that he started a movement.
I'm asking you a question. Does the man pay for the rallies then? He's a financial backer, that nigga. Shit. Do he pay for the rallies?
I think he get support. He get donations and
No,
support
it's
from the
him.
people.
Can't nobody else do it?
Wait. You said you. Well, I'm confused now.
Listen,
You
you're not
said does
confused, do
he?
you?
You just said does he support
No,
the?
no,
You talking about?
no. I'm saying, why we gotta do this, yo? Just because he's not the leader, but he's the motherfucking. He's the goddamn. He's the fucking the foundation, the goddamn on the pillar, the money holder. He call the shots, right?
Oh,
I
what?
tell
Call
you,
us out. Oh, no,
I
no,
bet
no.
you.
That's false. That's false.
Me and say we're gonna have a rally in Atlanta because I've been there, yo,
I
and
never been to
everybody come
one,
out and he
and I
talk.
never been to one
Okay, oh, right? Why not? Okay, but that's it.
because I don't
That's what.
need to
Come on,
if I don't
yo.
want to.
We doing
I'm
this?
one out of 43 million. Yeah,
No, no,
you
no. I
bugging.
didn't say you needed. No, you don't. I didn't say you needed to. Never said that, brother. I'm saying there's nobody that's calling themselves FBA can fill an arena with people. That's what I'm.
What? Yo, what the hell they gotta do? Yo, because somebody's
Come
popular.
on, yo. He the number
What
one
the?
stunner, yo.
Yeah, you
He's the
bugging.
number one
Yeah,
stunner.
yeah.
He's the
You
number
got some
one stunner.
obsession. Yeah, you might be his biggest fan. Yeah, I don't know, man. You his
He,
biggest fan.
all right,
Yeah,
okay.
you
I
might be his
believe you.
biggest
All right,
stan and
okay.
fan.
All
You
right.
bugging.
What I'm saying is, and you smart, yo. You know damn well that Tariq Nasheed, who's not the leader, you know what I'm saying, will the power of a leader in that thing
Nah,
right there.
nah.
And so
Okay,
we just
okay.
gonna stay right there. You know, I
So
don't need
let's.
to agree.
Yeah. So okay.
You
So
be
let me
able to
address
name
that.
three other people that can do that then. Name three
All
other
right. So
people,
watch
yo.
this. Hold on. Slow down. Slow down. You just
Name
said a
them. I'm
lot, and
listening. What's their name?
I gave ad libs. Okay. You just said a lot. I
All
gave
right,
ad
go
libs.
ahead.
Now you said he
So I
wills
give
the
so I give
power of
you
leader.
ad back.
Okay. Cool. Sure. You because I'm gonna
All
stay
right.
focused. I'm not gonna be all over the place. Now you say he willed the influence of a leader, something like that. The powers of a leader. Okay. So I call myself.
Yes, the
Okay.
same.
Cool. So I call myself FBA. So explain how he willed his influence over me to do something.
It don't, because what you mean? Because you doing this. Look at the name of your channel, nigga. Shit, that's his influence. He influenced you to go with the FBA. There you have it. What are you talking about?
Well, first of all, this is one out of many channels. I got another channel called FBA DOS. What about that one? They got FBA and ADOS in there. What about that one?
I
Did he
know, but
influence
yo,
that
but I
one?
know you, bro. You can't even talk to me because I know you. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, see, so you just lost that
You
one. I
got a
got one
mean
called
crossover on the court, nigga.
yeah,
See, I ain't a good guy to have a
yeah,
conversation because
you
I
took an L
remember when
right
it was
there.
none of this. Huh?
You took an L right there. I got a channel called FBA DOS. I got ADOS and FB all in one. He didn't will that power. He's against ADOS.
When did it start? When did it start? When did it
Okay.
start, yo?
So it's okay. It started around the 1800s. That's when delineation. That's when we wanted to be proud Americans. Okay, nothing else. Frederick Douglass wanted to be a proud American. He resented the term Africa. He resented any notion of him being African, and mostly everybody at that time did not want to be no ties to Africa. They wanted to be proud Americans, and that's why they call themselves colored and Negro, and that's why all of their organizations, way more than two, they call themselves colored or Negro, really Negro organizations, and some were colored, but most of their organizations was called Negro, and everything under the sun but African or
So you
Africa.
don't. So you don't actually like. You don't. So you saying it's not important to be a part of reconstructing African history to which we were an integral part of? Are you saying
No,
you saying it's more important to be FBA
yeah,
than
it's more important to be
understand?
American, right? A black, right? American, and
I
look,
disagree. I
okay,
just
cool,
disagree.
right? You're Pan-Africanist.
Disagree. I disagree. Disagree.
I
And
disagree
you're
with
and you're Tariq
Pan-Africanism.
Nasheedian. You're
Yeah,
Tariq
but you
Nasheedian.
didn't prove that. You didn't prove that.
I did. You're
Well, I
Tariq
can't be
Nasheedian.
why then why do
You're
it what,
definitely a
okay,
Tariq Nasheedian.
so if I'm a Tariq
Definitely.
Nasheedian, then
Yes. Just
why
like
do
I'm
I
a
listen?
Pan-African, you're Tariq Nasheedian. So
No,
we
okay,
good.
then you're Garveyite then. Okay.
Yeah,
Who's
no
worse?
problem. We're good. We'll
Who's
stay
worse?
right there.
Who's
Yeah.
worse?
But I don't got a
Garvey or
channel
Tariq?
named Garvey, though. You got a channel named after the nigga
Shit.
that lead the way. See,
Man.
that's the difference. You will not find me who you'll find me bashing his ass. Are you bashing Tariq?
No, because I think he
Right,
does
because
great
you're a
things.
Tariq Nasheedian.
I think Garvey does horrible
Me too.
anti-black American things.
Me too. But you're a
And
Tariq Nasheedian. You don't think Tariq Nasheedian does
and
anything wrong.
most of Pan-Africanists and
Mhm.
Pan-African works are usually garbage, and they don't produce anything. Matter of fact, hold on. That same thing you were on, The bottom dude, with the whole dashiki garments. Dr. Maya asked him. She said, "Hey, there's a notion that Pan-African."
I'm not speaking on Dr. Mayat. Yo, she's
Now,
not here to defend herself.
I'm not even speaking. I said she asked a question to a brother with a dashiki. She asked him. She said, "Hey, there's a notion that Pan-Africanism hasn't produced anything tangible." So, can you speak to that? And his first words was, "Well, I'm not the person on this panel who can like. That's not my thing." Basically, he said, "I'm more of a spiritual, some bullshit." But when it came down to proving that Pan-Africanism produced something tangible, nobody on that panel, including you, can name one thing.
No more than FDA ain't produced shit tangible, a bunch of badass, crazy ass doctrine shit. A misconstruing of history, bro. How about that?
How long ago did Tariq?
All
right, watch this.
Indigenous black.
How long ago did Tariq Nasheed come up with it? Okay,
there's no you change it. You're Tariq Nasheed.
How long ago? How long ago did Tariq Nasheed come up with the term FBA? How long ago?
I don't know. When the when he put the damn website up, does he not have a website?
Okay, cool. So how long ago? So how long ago was Pan-Africanism was it in existence in America?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
If you're comparing 200 years to 7 years.
But I don't care about it. But you care about
nah. You do. You're definitely Pan-Africanist.
I don't got no nothing.
All that
saying
black African power shit.
Right, black African power ain't got nothing to do with no daggone Pan-Africanists.
Wait, so why are you bigging up African? You're an American. What about black American power? What about African American power?
Fundamentally speaking, all humans are savanna apes originating in Africa. Black American. I'm a black American.
So it should be black American power.
My ancestors that came from Africa.
Yeah, nah. And what's their names?
That's black African power, yo.
What's their names? The ancestors. What's their names?
You talking about we was an enslaved people, nigga? We don't have names of ancestors because we don't know who we exactly came from. Thus the term African Americans. We embrace the whole continent.
Did you do your DNA test?
Can I talk? DNA does not, and I'm gonna say this again. DNA does not tell you what tribe you come from. There's not a DNA test.
Of course not. But that's not why I asked it. That's not why I asked that though.
Tribe we come from.
That's not why I asked.
Know where your ancestors come from. I can
that's
generally
not why.
say
that's not why I asked that.
Africa. So what are you asking then? What are you?
I just want to know. So asking you, did you do a DNA test? That's a crazy.
Ancestors, nigga. How would I know that?
Yeah, but you answered that, and I moved on to the next question. I said, "Did you?"
Next question, then. Go ahead.
Did you do your American me or DNA test? No. You got to stop being insecure.
I'm not insecure. What are you talking about?
I'm just asking simple.
In that question. What's the faulty premise? Did African Americans know who the fuck their ancestors was in Africa? That's a faulty premise. Right. I'm not accurate into a faulty premise. So react.
That's why we ain't African. That's why we ain't African. But look, let me ask you this.
Crazy, yo. But go ahead.
Did you do your DNA test? Like, you know,
of course I 13%. Okay. Of course I did.
So this is the question. And I asked you.
And the next show we on here, I'll bring mine up for y'all to see. Go ahead.
Okay. So I just got one question, like I asked everybody else in the chat who took their test. Okay. So when you took your test, it's going to show percentages. So what is the largest percentage of a country that came out? The result, and what was the country and the percentage?
Yeah, it was Somali.
And what percentage?
70.
Okay, so your DNA test said you were 70. So your DNA test said that you are 70% Somalian.
No, that's not what the percentage means. Y'all always fuck what it means is that people with L3 are higher rates in Somalia. So somewhere down the line, somebody right from that area ran into one of my distant ancestors.
I just asked you a simple question. I said,
I'm explaining what it means. You fucking it up though. I'm not fucking it up. This is what we do. We do scientific literacy.
So you don't understand the question?
Does not mean that I'm 70% Somali. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You playing.
But that wasn't the question though.
You cut me off in the middle.
Because the question was, okay, he called me niggas, everything. The question,
I call you nigga. It was an enduring nigga.
Okay, so look, the question is this. I mean, I'm saying, this guy, I don't know how hard this is. When you do your American meat, it gives you a list of countries and percentages. The countries are separate from each other. I was asking you, what is the country with the largest percentage, and what is that percentage? That's all I was asking you.
I said, on my father line is Somali, and I didn't take that DNA test. My DNA test cost me $750. It upgrades
you got scammed.
every year. It's called gene.
You got scammed.
Look that up. Okay. Okay, nigga, I didn't get scammed. Right. So I didn't get scammed. Get that.
Hey,
Right.
brother, if you're 70% Somalian, then you're
It's that,
right.
and
Then
so you
you're
know
right.
what,
You're
yo?
not Black
So
American. You are
that's what
African
you're doing.
American.
So that's what you're doing. So in the middle of me trying to explain what that meant, you're gonna come up with the pseudoscientific meaning of it. Okay, bro. Okay, I'm gonna let that stay right there, and everybody is. If that's what y'all heard, then now you're trying to rule people with the foolery. That's foolery, bro. I'm gonna let you run with it though. You can have it. Because you cut me off me trying to explain what that really means and how everybody really messed that up.
But
Remember,
you
I was
didn't
trying to do
answer
that.
my question though.
I did, and you just didn't understand that 73% don't mean that 73% of you came for it. Don't mean that. It means that the marker, which is L3, right, that is at a high rate at 73% in that area.
I didn't
That's what
ask
I
for
said.
explanation. I just wanted to know what percentage
But you
and what
gotta have an
country.
explanation because you're messing it up by saying that I'm 73% Somali would be a pseudoscientific
You said
rendering of
that.
what it really means. That's all I'm saying. Remember,
You
we
said that.
teach genetics, yo. A basic understanding of how genes work. We talk about that. That's my channel, dude. So I'm not gonna let you just run crazy with it, bro. Man, everybody, nigga, I was the first nigga in the community with a DNA test. Do I gotta go there? See, most people listening to the show don't know that I was the first person who had a DNA test and spurred on everybody to get their DNA test in this community. Remember?
Okay, well,
I give you the date on when I first took my DNA test, bro.
Okay, then
Okay.
you should.
Right.
Then next time you could come on and we can
Damn,
go
18
into
years ago. But go ahead.
and you can explain because I really don't know what that stuff mean like that. You can
Thank you.
explain
Thank you,
what
sir.
that stuff mean. Now,
Go ahead.
you're familiar with the transatlantic slave trade, right?
I certainly am.
Okay. I heard you use the term. Do you still go by this term? Do you still go by that we were kidnapped?
Yeah, because you got to get kidnapped first to get enslaved.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just asking. Okay, so now when we were kidnapped, who did the kidnapping?
Dutch, the Portuguese.
Okay, hold on. Stop right here. So, brother, you said you're not into pseudo information, right?
No, so you saying that the Portuguese?
Okay.
Right.
All right. Now I'm gonna share my screen this time. Are you familiar with slave raids in Africa?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know how unsuccessful the Dutch and Europeans were in the 1400s when they went over there and tried that? They died from diseases and they got killed off by African resilience. Do you know that majority of all the kidnapping were done by Africans?
I mean, come on, bro. Like
That's false. Okay, let me pull it up.
I'm saying
pull it
up. Yes. You
Okay,
know what
pull
you're
it up.
talking about.
Okay, you got it.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on now.
Oh my, this is gonna be easy one right here.
What you're doing is you fucking it all up.
Okay, sure. So I'm gonna read it and you correct me.
Hold on. I'm gonna let you fuck it all up. Then I'm gonna get you and beat you all up. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
And
present the false narrative. Go.
Okay, got you.
Go. I'm muting out.
Let me share my screen. Yeah, cool.
Screen.
R.I.P. to Unc. Okay. Now he's gonna change up everything I just asked and watch.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm gonna force you to deal with chronology. See, you can't play me with the crazy Christian game. That's the Christian game right there. Well, you know the Africans enslaved themselves. You know, you're a Christian talking about a slave trade that don't got nothing to do with the way you thinking. But go ahead.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, go for it. I'm the right dude. And I got 2 more minutes. So you got 2 minutes.
Okay, got it. Okay, let me cook this guy real fast. Let me R.I.P. this dude.
Crazy.
Man.
Crazy. Now the Africans enslaved themselves. How?
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Wasn't even called Africans. Nigga, they was just give me the tribe and the clans. Nigga, don't play with me.
Nzinga. Queen Nzinga. She went part of slave raids?
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Absolutely.
So don't ever ask me another question like that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you have that for a moment. Then I'm gonna beat you up on it. Definitely got an answer for it.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. What you doing? You said that.
Hold on.
You're supposed to hand that already, bro.
Got you.
Ain't nothing you can read that's gonna say what you saying, yo. Go read that. We want to see it on the screen, nigga. Put it up there.
I will.
Yeah. What you taking too long?
Relax. I'm gonna get it right.
Okay? Don't get it right. Don't give me a source to say that. Don't play.
Okay, sure. I got you.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, we do that. We can ask AI for sources nowadays. We ain't got to go do it
No, read
ourselves.
the AI, and then we want to
Okay.
make sure the source back up what it's saying, because AI be
Okay.
dreaming sometimes. Get it right.
Okay. Sure. No, yeah, but they give you sources though. You can ask for a
Yeah, the
source.
sources don't match up at times. You got to
Okay.
fight. Don't
Sure.
play. Come on, bro. We
Okay.
do this for real.
Okay.
We do this for real. We
Gotcha.
don't just chat GBT.
All right. I'm gonna use the same.
No, use chat GBT, yo. Put it in there and
Nah,
read it
nah,
to us. Thank
nah.
you.
I got you.
Thank you. And I want to know what
Okay.
the question you ask it.
Cool. So it's called African slave trade. All right. Transatlantic. So do you see my screen right now?
And the Africans had a slave trade before Europeans colonialism
Okay.
came to
I
Africa.
know we know about that. We know about that.
All right,
Okay.
go. Go.
Do you see it? Do you see it?
Yeah, read it.
Okay. So I'm gonna go to the most simplest one. So
No,
wait 1 second. I'm gonna get your spaghetti.
no, just read
Okay.
the African
So
slave trade.
the African slave trade or transatlantic slave trade involved the transportation by slave traders of enslaved African people to the Americas. European slave ships regularly used the triangular slave trade route and its middle passage. Europeans established a coastal slave trade in the 15th century, and trade to the Americas began in the 16th century, lasting through the 19th century. The
Stop
vast
right
majority.
there.
Wait,
Stop right there for a minute.
no,
No, we
no. I mean,
gotta stop right
no, no,
there.
no. No.
Stop right
I'm
there.
gonna read. No, I'm gonna
Why
leave
you
it
want
up
to keep
here.
reading? Why?
No,
Why?
because I'm gonna leave it up here. You read back.
Okay, all right.
The
All right.
vast, because you don't want to read right here. The
Now I
vast
want to keep
majority.
going, but I want to be chronologically
Cool.
correct in
Okay.
what we're
No, no.
saying. Go ahead.
You
Go
I'm gonna
ahead.
leave it
No,
up.
go
I'm gonna
ahead.
leave it up.
Go
The
ahead.
vast majority of those who were transported into the transatlantic slave trade were from Central Africa and West Africa and had been sold by West African slave traders to European slave traders, while others had been captured directly by the slave traders in coastal raids. European slave traders gathered and imprisoned and enslaved at forts on the African coast and then brought them to the Western Hemisphere. Some Portuguese and Europeans participated in slave raids. As the National Museum's Liverpool explains, European traders captured some Africans and raids along the coast, but most, but most of them from local African or European dealers. European slave traders generally did not participate in slave raids. You're dead. Go, you're dead.
So here we go. So it says the Atlantic slave trade and transatlantic slave trade involve the transportation of slave traders and enslaved African people to the Americas. European slave ships regularly used the triangle trade route and its middle passage. So if we stop right there, and the context is it was the Europeans that established these trade routes first, right? So there is no Africans prior to colonialism planning a triangular trade route and building ships. And so these people are at the source of dysfunction in that particular region. There's no argument over that. So now that we got the chronology proper, no need to take slaves to the coast or raid anybody and send them across the world without the European involvement. So they are at the source of this. Okay? It's business for them. The next sentence says, it says Europeans established. So European, not Africans, but Europeans established a coastal slave trade in the 15th century, and trade to the Americas began in the 16th century, lasting through the 19th century. So Europeans did this, and based off of Europeans doing this, they established the slave trade. Matter of fact, what most people don't know is that these particular Europeans, right, they put the whole African trade in dysfunction. I'm going to say this again, meaning there was nothing else valuable but slaves. They decentralized trade. That means the trade was based on one thing after they came in. It wasn't based off of fruits and vegetables and wood and all kind of bartering systems. It wasn't based off of that. They made it based off of slavery. So prior to Europeans coming to Africa, they had a bustling trade in all types of commodities, including slaves. So now you would have to research what an African slave trade looked like, what those slave markets look like. It was part of the overall market system. Okay? Don't be a Christian and think that, oh, they was doing. No, it's totally different. Two separate things. Now, let's read on to the next thing. It says the vast majority of those who were transported in the transatlantic slave trade were from Central and West Africa. So there you go. It say and had sold and hold on. and had been sold by West African slave traders to European slave traders. So why would they do that? Because they started to be, they was already fighting each other like powers do, right? And they already had a system in play. Okay, so now at this point, the only thing that became valuable was the slaves, so they sold them to the Europeans at much higher numbers, right? Why? Because they're in a state of dysfunction at this point. Europeans are coming in to take their land and take their kingdoms, misuse them, pitting each other against each other. So that's all part of the game. We're not going to run away from that. And we're not going to run from the fact that they did sell Europeans as slaves. Why would they sell Europeans as slaves? Because their economies had fell. Why did their economies fall? Because the only thing you could trade that was valuable was goddamn Africans. Because Europeans, not Africans, decentralized the trade in Africa. So that's the only game left in town. So for their survivability, food, clothing, shelter, the main trade was in bodies. That's just what it was. Reading? That's just what it is. So let's get to the last part. Hold on. So it said the vast majority of those who were transported in the transatlantic slave trade were from Central West Africa, right? It say, and have been sold by West African slave traders, right, to European slave trades. I agree. It say, while others have been captured directly by the slave traders on the coastal raids, European slave raiders gathered and imprisoned the enslaved at forts on the African coast and then brought them to the Western Hemisphere. It says some Portuguese and Europeans participated in slave raids. Okay. It says, as the National Museum of Liverpool explains, it says European traders captured some Africans in raids along the coast. It say, but brought most of them from local African and African European dealers. See, African European dealers. But
they were African. But go ahead.
It's a man, African or African European dealers. So what's the African European dealer thing, yo?
Read the next sentence and you'll get it.
Okay. It's a European slave traders generally did not participate in slave raids. We know why. You explained it. Because the niggas couldn't handle the heat and the malaria and all that. This was primarily because life expectancy of Europeans in sub-Saharan Africa was less than 1 year. Why are you moving?
So you can read the rest.
Wait, because due to the endemic. Yeah, malaria. Okay, you messed me up. Sub-Saharan malaria.
Oh, right here. You right here.
Okay,
you was right there.
Coastal raids found that slave raiding was too costly and often ineffective. I said ineffective and opted for commercial relations. Yeah, yo. Hey, so how does that make your point? Okay. You explaining the intricacies of it. That's okay.
Okay, so it made my point.
Hold on. That is a summarization of it. I'm giving people the details that can be backed by scholarly sources, bro. So there's a reason why they gave you why. They couldn't go in there because they was catching malaria. So now you rely on
Africans were defeating them. They would lose it. They was taking L's because the European army was not strong at that time.
No, that's not what that said. Hold on, where that's at? That's right here. My fault. You just adding some context to it?
No, that's part of research. So you don't know.
Okay, that's part of research. Yeah.
So you don't know that I already debated this with a dude named Revenue who trolls Tariq Nasheed. And he believed like you and most Pan-Africanists, you guys believe that Europeans were kidnapping Africans and Africans were so innocent. But
they was. Hold on. I never said none of that.
Wait. You just cut me off. Wait.
Okay, but I never said that. I'm reading. So I gotta cut you off on that point. No, I never said that. But go ahead.
Okay, cool.
All right, go ahead.
So this is a key word right here that you kind of just skipped over.
I ain't skipped. You moved that thing. That's where you moved the shit.
It says European slave traders generally did not participate in slave raids, and then it says this was primarily because life expectancy for Europeans in sub-Saharan Africa was less than 1 year, the period of the slave trade due to malaria that was endemic to the African. But here's the main thing. It was the next sentence. It says Portuguese coastal raiders found that slave raiding was too costly and often ineffective.
Right.
They
Correct.
tried it and they failed. They needed Africans to go do it. So it goes back to the kidnapping, as I established earlier, came from Africans,
No,
not Europeans.
no. It came from different ethnic groups, different nations, cities, states. That's what it
So,
was.
okay,
They
so let
wasn't.
me just,
Hold on. They wasn't all to. It's not that. That's like saying the French and the Brits and
nah,
the
as
Germans are all the same.
no, no,
I just
okay.
want everybody to know that. I want them
So
to
so
get
so
that
now we
picture.
just can't say African. See family. See all
No,
day
no.
today. Wait,
Just
wait.
like
Let
we
me just say
talking.
that. Let me. Why you keep
This
cutting
what
in,
you
man?
doing?
I'm not trying to argue. Hey
Okay.
family. All day he loosely said the term African. He didn't specify which countries, which tribes, which regions. Now all of a sudden I can't say Africans. Now we got to be specific on what Africans, what tribes and regions. Now I just can't say Africa anymore. So they pick and choose like white supremacists, like the whole per capita, whole numbers. Now I can't say African. I got to be specific, which tribe, which region, which country.
Is it my turn to speak?
That
My fault. I thought we was talking about a specific event. And during the times of this specific event, those people wasn't calling themselves Africans. Those people was calling themselves by their tribal names. It was different nations and cities and states. No more different than when Adolf Hitler fought against World War II, my nigga. They fought against different Europeans, bro. You got the Russians. They ain't even really Europeans, but you got the Russians. You got people in the United States. You got the French. They was different people. They wasn't the same. So to try to play this game in the middle of the slave trade and make it seem like it was a unified, you the real Pan-African nigga trying to play that game. Now you saying that all those niggas was unified under the banner of Pan-Africanism. If that would not be true. They didn't care no more about the other nations the way United States don't give a damn about Russia. Can we agree to that though, brother? That way, there's context there. Can we agree
wait,
that
say that
those
again.
people that was fighting wars against each other ain't give a fuck about each other, just like Russia don't give a fuck about the United States and the French and the British? Can we agree to that point? And then we can continue this conversation. Yes or no, I'm biased. Can we agree to that point?
Well, let me add some more context there.
No, man, just can we agree to that? You don't
He
gotta add no
said
more
not.
context. Can you
Well,
agree?
that's not the whole truth. That's not the whole
That
truth
is
that
the
was
whole
going on.
truth. Can you answer the question, bro?
I cannot agree because that's not the whole truth.
Okay, thank you. So you trying to tell me that they was one unified group fighting against slavery?
Wait,
Whatever.
You won't let me say anything.
Yeah, nah,
I
because
said that's
you
not the whole
gonna answer the
truth.
question.
Okay, so
You gonna answer
it's
the
either your
question.
question or nothing. That's not the whole
No,
truth
answer the
because
question, then you can explain it. But
I
answer the
just did.
question,
I said I
then get that explained.
disagree.
You said you disagree. Bet. Okay,
Yeah,
now
because
explain
that's
how.
okay,
Explain
not
to
the
us
whole
why you
truth.
disagree. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Go ahead.
because some of those African nations were warring each other, right? Warring with each other. It was mano a mano. But then there was other weak African nations that were not warring, and they were just victimized by the stronger African nations.
That's not what we talked about. Even the weaker ones
Okay.
thought they was different from the stronger ones, bro. That was the inference. The
But you
inference
said
was
war. You
no,
said your main
no,
thing was
yo. The
war.
inference was
They were not all
that they
warring.
looked at each other like the Russians would have looked at the United States
Oh yeah,
and the French. That was
They
the question,
seem
bro. They
yeah.
seen themselves
But
not
you
as
said war.
Africans, but different groups of people. Can we
Yeah, I
agree
agree.
to that? Thank
Yes.
you. So now that brings the whole context into the thing. So then what event would occur that would make people who already at war taking prisoners of war, because that's what they did in Africa. They took prisoners of war. They took their criminals. See, we got to get education now. So in Africa, they didn't have a penal system, right? And so if you wage war against another African nation, right, there's a penalty for that. If they captured you, you would go into slavery. If you was a criminal breaking laws and rules and regulations in that nation, you would be going to slavery. See, these are things that I don't talk about. The difference was that there was nobody to sell and take them across the world. When Europeans came in, they came in, caused a lot of dysfunction, disrupted a trade and all that shit, and then it became a market. They put together a market where people could take their criminals and prisoners of war and sell them, bro. See, this is the part you keep forgetting. And I think you do it. Now I realize you do that shit on purpose, yo. Yep, because you couldn't have left all that out. You left the whole thing. That's crazy, bro. Now that's crazy.
I don't think I don't.
Now I got
I'm lost.
left all that out. No, I know you lost, but it's somebody in that chat that now got context of what's going on. See, it don't gotta be everybody, but somebody gonna say, I kind of understand that. I understand
Nah,
the
the
chronology.
chat definitely ain't saying that. Don't read that chat. They definitely ain't saying that.
I said
Yes.
somebody will understand the context, because context is golden. The context, right, of them enslaving each other ain't a big deal. Everybody practiced that. And half y'all Bible believers, the Hebrews practiced slavery. Shit, they enslaved motherfuckers leaving Egypt. That's not a big deal for human beings. It's one of the oldest institutions on planet Earth. That's not really a big deal. That's all I'm saying, bro. But go ahead. You gotta stay out that chat, yo. The chatty and the patty, yo. I ain't gonna never hit the button and come up with a source and talk that shit. But I like your source. Appreciate that, bro. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end right there. Y'all done this long enough. Man, I'm out of here, man. Big up to the FBA chat, man. Man, y'all know we at the community of skeptics and the pseudo killers, man. If y'all want a comprehensive history of the slave trade and the penal system in Africa, and what would Africans at war with each other, where would they put their captives? Did they have a system for that? What was it? All these things are variable. Did the trade and commerce become decentralized? And what does decentralized mean? Meaning it was the only game in town. Did these things actually occur? We have these answers, bro. These answers are very well sourced. And with that, man, I'm out. Appreciate that, man. Love and Black African power. Pseudo killer official.
All right, bro. Peace, man. My bad. I had to go on mute. All right, but
Now,
all right,
good
peace, bro.
conversation. This is what we do, nigga. You know we do this all day.
Oh yeah, that's all good, man.
I slid through to help, let you get it in. You need, yeah. I mean, this is how we do. This is how we learn.
I appreciate you.
This is how we learn and grow. All right, man. Peace.
Peace. All right. Now, a lot of that was Pan-Africanist babble, plebiscite babble. Okay, he was under the oppression, like most Pan-Africanists. Most Pan-Africanists are under the impression that the slave raids were predominantly done by Europeans. He said the same thing. He tried to switch it up and make it about something else. The argument was never, did the Europeans have the will to take on slaves, enslave people, and put them to slave work, the Middle Passage and all that type of stuff. That was never the argument. That's common sense. The slave trade, yes. Okay. Come here, wait now. Wait for Scatty. It's almost done. Come. Could you get your cartoon? Come back in. Yeah, so the argument was never about who initiated the slave trade. That's, to us, that's like common sense. What I brought up was the denial of Africans' accountability. Now all of a sudden we got to be specific to which tribe, which religion, which spirituality system. We can't no longer just say African. We got to be very specific. When I said Queen Nzinga, I was very specific. Okay, so we know Africans were largely responsible for the quote unquote kidnapping, but the slave raids. We know that the transatlantic slave trade could not have happened without the slave raids by Africans. Okay, the Europeans were very unsuccessful in going into Africa and taking Africans themselves. All right, so we're gonna do a part 2 on those African Diaspora Wars. We didn't finish the video because Unc pulled up, but appreciate all of y'all. Make sure y'all like the video, subscribe,